Ciao, ciao, dosto. Good evening, Borosera, and welcome to Game Week 7 preview stream. Chintan Bhai has joined me. Param is joining us in a bit. What's happening, dosto? क्या चल रहा है, Chintan?
Nothing much, just chilling. प्रचारण चालू है कैल्सियो का हर जगह पे and it's really amazing, Ajay, how much love we are getting, and how much interest people are taking in calcio, which is amazing to see, and it's all because of the fans only, of course, the subscribers, and हम लोग जो you, me, हम लोग कैल्सियो का झंडा लहरा रहे हैं, but कोई तो बैठा है उधर जिसको पड़ी नहीं है, लेकिन हम लोग अपना काम नहीं बंद करेंगे अजय. वी विल कीप गोइंग, वी विल कीप डूइंग व्हाट वी आर डूइंग. एंड यस, कैसा भाई अजय? लाइक फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, हाउ
बहुत दिन से नहीं
एक्साइटेड
मिला
आर
यार. बहुत दिन से मिला नहीं अभिजय. We have not met. It's been a while.
यू? वो यार, एंड बस यार ये एक चीज है यार, वो बात, ये थोड़ा लंबा लगा इंटरनेशनल वीक. ऐसा लग रहा कि भाई कभी वापस आएगा
लंबा
फुटबॉल.
लगा है. बहुत लंबा लगा चिंतन, but at least चलो I was happy that Italy
इटली.
won their two games. इंडिया का तो खैर छोड़ ही दो. मैं छोड़ ही दिया हूँ. I've given up on Indian football, but at least Italy with that hope कि playoffs में तो कुछ तो कर पाएगी. Like it will not be a repeat of what happened versus Sweden or North Macedonia. In fact, Chintan, I don't know if you read this. Ventura came out and said उसने इंटरव्यू दिया. I don't know उसको क्यों. This is typical Italian press ना, मतलब जैसा अपना इंडिया में होता है सेम ऐसे होता है. Ventura giving an interview in 2025. उसने बोला कि when I finished second in a group that had Italy, I was villainized. And look at this. Now coming second is an achievement under Gattuso. एक उसने ये चीज बोला, and I want you to react on this. Second point, he said that De Rossi, I never told him to come on. It is a conspiracy theory. I never told him to come on for that game. So just your thoughts on these two things that Ventura said.
भाई फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यार, वेंचुरा का नाम देखे कुछ अलग इमोशंस आ जाते हैं. एंड आई थिंक वेंचुरा इज द रीजन व्हाई De Rossi became a manager, I feel, because उसको लगा ये नाइंसाफी दूसरी बार नहीं होनी चाहिए. बट या हिम सेइंग, आई डोंट नो अबाउट इटली का पार्ट, प्रॉब्ली हो सकता है, बट दैट टाइम इटली वाज अनदर बीस्ट. ऐसा नहीं हुआ था, मतलब आई थिंक वाज अ डिफरेंट ईरा. अभी तो इटली इतने वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफाई नहीं कर चुके, तो इधर तक पहुंचना ही एक अचीवमेंट हो सकता है अजय. बट the De Rossi thing, I don't believe this. Yeah, come on, like we saw it with our eyes, we've seen videos. तभी तो ज्यादा controversial कैमरा उधर pan out होता था. So first of all, as you said, Ventura क्या कर रहा है 2025 में इंटरव्यू देखे. But Gattuso का स्टेटमेंट अच्छा आया था कि if we don't end up winning, I will be going far away from Italy. But being said that, मेरे को लग रहा है with Gattuso coming in, अजय, जैसे हम लोग कब से वही बात करें, टैक्टिक्स वैक्टिक्स बाद में, लेकिन पहला teach them what Italian grinta is. वो जरा गटुसो की टीम को देख के लग रहा है वो आ रहा है. टैक्टिक्स बाद में सीखेंगे, पहले थोड़ा what it means to wear the Italian national team वो सिखाना चाहिए. And as you said, no one better than probably Gattuso, Ajay, to teach that quality of what it means to don a jersey. क्या बोल रहे हैं?
Yeah, I mean, I see so many parallels between Khalid Jamil and Gattuso. Both are appointments, but unfortunately, like again, I don't want to draw a parallel, but Indian football का mess कुछ अलग ही है. With Gattuso, यार Chintan, you knew what he was bringing to the table. You knew that he's not going to bring that tactical nose that a lot of Italian coaches have. But Italy को फिलहाल जरूरत थी ये एक wake-up call का. And I like that Israel-Italy game 4-5 wala game, because I think in that game there was it could have gone sideways had it been Spalletti, but Gattuso
Yeah.
tha, so you saw these guys were fighting for the shirt. And the next game against Moldova or Estonia, was it? Italy were attacking from the first minute right till the and first half they couldn't score a single goal. Second half they scored 5 goals. So I think that is something that I've never seen. It's been a while since we saw that. And Chintan, this is not an Azzurri team that has the players of the past. We know the players that we have grown up, that golden era from 2000 to 2006 ended up with that World Cup cycle. Ab wo players bache nahi hai, Chintan. Like there was an embarrassing of riches. Just imagine you had Vieri, Del Piero, Totti, Inzaghi. These were your forward options. And then, of course, you had Cassano, Luca Toni, who had won the Capacananiere. This was the embarrassment of riches. And then now, I think after that, थोड़ा एक डिप आया, नो डाउट, बट
हम
दिस
लोग ने अजय
रेटिंग.
हम लोग ने अभी बात किया था that when it comes to Spanish national, you just spoke about strikers, you're forgetting about center backs का जो
Yeah.
भरपूर कोटा था. Like imagine a Nesta was easily replaced in the World Cup by a Materazzi. It was a very easy transition. So my point is, Ajay, as you said, it's not, but I'll break it down for you guys. Param is joined in. Param, what's up? We're talking about your favorite national team, which is the Italian national team. So I will come to, of course, Param. I'll just come to that. I'll ask you guys a question here. Okay. I'll break it position by position. Okay. When it comes to goalkeepers, Gigi Donnarumma, you guys think top three goalkeepers in the world right now?
Yes, I do.
I think so. Param?
Yes, but just on the fence for me, not clear cut
No,
or
no.
anything.
I don't mean it even. Don't compare the club value. I'm seeing what he
Yeah.
brings to the Italian national team as
हाँ
a player himself. I feel for the national team is a different
हाँ
beast.
हाँ टॉप 3 डालूंगा बट अगेन या मतलब स्टिल इट्स नंबर 1 वो सब बोलना मुश्किल है बट टॉप 3 फॉर श्योर.
So why I'm telling you guys I'm doing this is, guys, I'm trying to say that as of now, barring the strikers, Italian squad की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, not even squad, starting 11 जो last game में चालू किया है. Now I'll move to the center backs. Okay, and I'm not going to go those center backs. I'm going to choose, of course, one. Bastoni, top 3 center backs in the world.
या
Amazing. Okay, I mean I totally agree. I'm going to, of course, another center back upcoming here, Calafiori. I'm not going to count up. I'm taking one position. Now, if you take wing backs, both the wing backs, DiMarco, in what he does, in what position he plays, I think last game में Italy ने back 3 खेला था, मतलब he was a little pushed up front. I would say DiMarco again, top 5, top 3 शायद debatable हो सकता है, but top 5 wing backs in the world, guys.
विंग
Yeah,
बैक स्पेसिफिकली बोल रहे हो तो
wing
यस. और अगर आप फॉर्म पकड़ रहे हो तो भी यस बिकॉज राइट नाउ ही इज रिवाइटलाइज्ड हिमसेल्फ कंप्लीटली. जब ये
This season, though,
डिबैकल
yes.
ऑफ द या दिस
Yeah.
सीजन ही इज बीन फैंटास्टिक फॉर क्लब एंड कंट्री. लाइक लास्ट सीजन का जो डिबैकल था ही इज पुट इट बिहाइंड हिम. सो
Yeah, so I'm talking about this season.
राइट नाउ यस जनरल में भी टॉप 5 में डालूंगा. टॉप 3 थोड़ा मुश्किल है.
Yeah, exactly.
Limitations as well. So yeah.
I think I can put him, guys, in the probably top 3 crossers from that position. I think when it comes to
fair.
crosses and attacking fair, amazing. Now I'll move to the midfield, guys, because we of course had a certain video going viral about Paul Scholes saying that Tonali is, and I think people took it out of context. Some got offended, but I think what he meant was an overall rounded performance because how much Tonali runs. So we have two players who play in that position is Tonali and Barella, and I think there is a lot of center midfielders who are amazing, but I will certainly put them as one of the best in those positions, especially when it comes to Barella. So do you guys, I'm assuming you guys agree with that too.
Yeah.
So now,
I mean,
I have
agree.
one take on this. So I feel Barella plays better if Locatelli is there. I feel that gives Barella more freedom to express, and I think that the midfield 3 as a unit works rather than individual. And to be honest, like Barella को तो मतलब इतना over करने लगा है. I still feel that we haven't seen Barella's best in Italian.
No, the thing with Barella is what has happened is that he's played only as a, when he was young he had already completed 200 games, 150 games for Cagliari itself. So मतलब वो बहुत फुटबॉल खेल चुका है उसके एज के लिए, कुछ ज्यादा ही खेल चुका है. एंड ही इज नॉट बैड बट यस थोड़ा वो फुल सीलिंग अभी भी वो जो प्राइम लेवल है अभी भी उसका बाकी है एक. एंड आई थिंक जैसे आपने बोला वो यूनिट है ना तीनों का, दैट कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स बिकॉज यू हैव टोनाली लाइक द इंजन, you have Locatelli like the 6 kind of dictating the play, and you have Barella who's complete basically like he's a package now because he's transitioning into a 6 as well. So you have a mix of an 8 and 6 over there. So that's why the midfield 3 works very well with these 3. I can't imagine anybody else in that midfield to be honest doing as well. Yeah.
So I think Locatelli बहुत underrated हो गया because I think he's not spoken about because Mancini stuff.
Yeah.
But my point of this whole exercise was, guys, if you go to see as individualistic Italian national team बुरी नहीं है. Okay, minus the strikers, I think strikers तो top 10 में भी नहीं आएंगे, मतलब Retegui and मतलब वो तो बात ही नहीं करनी है मुझे. But my idea is that, guys, Italian national team position wise भी हम लोग देखने जाएंगे. So they have a like every position में एक star player जैसे बोल सकते हैं जो probably could walk into many clubs. My point was that. But as a unit, this हाँ.
Yeah, बोलो sir. You complete. I'll make
My
my
idea
point.
is that एक time था, of course जैसे same था, of course there multiple stars थे, but they performed well as a unit. I think अभी
Yeah.
वही होना चाहिए इटली national team के लिए, that you
Hmm.
guys are good what you do. एक confidence
Although
आना चाहिए कि you guys can do well together also.
या ऑल्दो फनीली इनफ जो आप स्टार प्लेयर्स का बोल रहे हो, मैं अगर एक रिलेटिव उसको टर्म में डालूं तो डिफेंस, मिडफील्ड एंड गोलकीपर्स हैव दोस स्टार नेम्स. इफ यू रिलेटिव टर्म्स में मैं बोल रहा हूँ, लाइक आई एम नॉट सेइंग द स्टार्स ऑफ द ओल्ड डेज, राइट? इफ आई से लाइक अगर मैं स्टार बोलूं मिडफील्ड में बरेला, लाइक जस्ट हाइपोथेटिकली, डिफेंस में या बास्टोनी, गोलकीपिंग में डोनारुमा, जस्ट वन प्लेयर ईच आई एम नेमिंग. बट अगर मैं स्ट्राइकर में बोलूं, लाइक in that star way you don't look at Retegi or Moise Kean, but I actually think that attack में एक अच्छा collective बन रहा है भाई, जो लोग people देख नहीं रहे. Like you have a Moise Kean who complements Retegi very well, and Retegi again has become a much, मैंने आपको बोला था, right? As long as Retegi has confidence and fitness, he will do well for the national team. Whether he's playing in Argentina, whether he's playing tomorrow in India, whatever, he's playing for Al Qadsiya, he has his confidence, he's doing well for Italy. Then as backups you have the right profile in Raspadori, जो अलग zones में slot in कर सकता है, and he's an impact sub. Then now Pio Esposito is breaking through, and the funny thing is him and Retegi are kind of very similar, but the biggest plus point Italy have over there are both are very mobile. They're not like your static target man. They're very mobile.
This is ironic because the previous Italy forward had immobile in his name.
Yeah, immobile. Yeah, that is quite funny. वही चीज है कि like लोग, अगर आप गेम प्ले भी देखो, like even someone like a Raspadori who comes in, वो क्या ऑफर करता है आपको? सेट पीसेस से थ्रेट आ जाता है ऑफ द बेंच, आपके एक वो डिमिन्यूटिव फिगर जो कैन काइंड ऑफ हैज दैट burst of acceleration. Then when Pio Esposito comes on, you're guaranteed hold up play, you're guaranteed link up, and then the other forward के same with Retegi. So एक उल्टा अटैक में एक यूनिट बन गया है कि जो कॉम्प्लीमेंट कर रहा है राइट नाउ, एंड दिस इज व्हाट Gattuso has to continue. You can't now randomly just, unless something drastic happens, let's say tomorrow Moise Kean shits the bed, like, because we know, but right now touchwood he's doing well, but for some reason let's say Moise Kean shits the bed because he's also injured right now. You can't just pick anybody. You can't just pick like tomorrow Matteo Zaccagni and chalo yaar mera problem solve ho gaya. Like that's not a solution. So right now he has to make something like this work. Like these profiles basically is my point. Like
no, my point was मैं इतना मतलब मैं तो सिर्फ जिस बेसिक कमर्शियल कैजुअल वे में बात कर रहा हूँ, बिकॉज़ सब लोग क्या बोलते हैं, अरे इतना वर्ल्ड क्लास प्लेयर, लाइक लेट्स टेक एग्जांपल. कितने लोग मुझे कभी-कभी पूछते थे, यार ओवर द इयर्स नेदरलैंड्स की टीम कितनी अच्छी हुई है, मतलब दे स्टिल नॉट वन एनी वर्ल्ड कप्स over the years I'm talking about, but sometimes people don't understand, players don't play well together. So वो एस्पेक्ट में बात कर रहा हूँ कि इटालियन नेशनल टीम में स्टार्स, जो सेलेबल स्टार्स की बात कर सकते हैं, वो है. Of now that Donnarumma is moved to Premier League, so sellable stars है अजय, but the point is अभी वो एक साथ क्लिक करेंगे, वर्ल्ड कप खेलेंगे, immense for Serie A, immense for Serie A.
Yeah. I mean, it is
will be 100 million then.
Chintan, historically also we've seen, like, you know, the players like say Simone Perotta and Cameronesi don't get the flowers for the 2006 World Cup, but as a unit they were incredible. Even before that you had the likes of Ambrosini, Tacchinardi, Di Biagio, you know, not sellable names, but when they played for Italy and in that unit, even Damiano Tomasi, superb. They were absolutely on par with any midfield at that given point of time.
Fair, and also not just for the fans. This is Inter मैंने बोला, these players need to play a World Cup. I mean, it's two editions you have missed. It's crazy that you look at players like भाई Donnarumma, Bastoni, Barella, Tonali. These guys have not played a World Cup, and it's just like वही चिंतन जैसे आपने बोला, right? वो spotlight in a way for our clubs it's good कि हाँ चलो दूसरे clubs इतना देख नहीं रहे, चलो वो bids नहीं आ रहे, but that anyways happens regardless. My point is like, these players need that spotlight anyways. Like these players need that platform, and it has to come now. Essentially, Italy looks like they're going to make it to the playoffs. Then it's Sweden or Turkey or North Macedonia, mostly one of these three countries, mostly Sweden. I'm sorry, like regardless of Sweden having sacked their coach, obviously in a very hilarious fashion, I don't care tomorrow if they were to sign Pep Guardiola as their coach, you have to beat Sweden, because चाहे स्वीडन के पास अभी करंटली अलेक्जेंडर इजाक हो, इलांगा हो, एंड दे हैव गुड प्लेयर्स, बट एज अ कलेक्टिव दे आर नॉट अ वेरी गुड नेशनल टीम in terms of their performance. I've watched them quite often to tell you that Italy should actually be beating them, but then I know how Italy operates. When it's time to
Italy should have beaten North Macedonia also.
Exactly, yeah.
Penalty miss किया था उनके में.
Yeah, that was, एक तो यार वो पेनल्टी टेक्निक बंद करो रहते कि कभी वो हॉप स्किप जंप, स्टॉप दैट नॉनसेंस, सॉरी, स्टॉप दैट बुलशिट.
यार
लाइक
परम हर टाइम, अजय हम लोग परम से बात कर सकते हैं, बोलते हैं कौन से जनरेशन का प्लेयर है, बिकॉज परम, me and Ajay, when we met, we had this discussion. Let's go old school, bang your penalties. And guys, I just rewatched 2006 World Cup penalties, including the French penalty takers. सब लोग ने एक, of course, ट्रेजेके का तो पोस्ट को लगा था, it was not a save. All the penalties were bloody drilled. करो ना यार, ड्रिल करो पेनल्टी को यार, सेम साइड भी डाइव मारोगे छूट जाएगा यार. सो आई डोंट नो व्हाई पीपल डोंट डू दिस. एंड ये हॉप स्किप जंप तो अभी ब्रूनो भी मिस करने लगा है. सो आई थिंक दिस टेक्निक तो यार बहुत ही डिफिकल्ट है. बैलोटेली ने चालू किया था, एक स्टॉप स्टार्टर करता था, ही यूज्ड टू स्कोर अ लॉट, बट वंस ही मिस्ड, he started missing them.
Yeah, but at least with that hop skip jump, you lose half your momentum there. Then it's about deception, and I don't understand. Like honestly, just put it like just lace through the ball. It's as simple as that. Like रहते ही
एग्जैक्टली, टोटी पेनल्टी मारता था ना तो कीपर के कान के बारू में से भी जाता था बे. लाइक यू नो, यू डोंट हैव द गट्स टू स्टॉप दैट, बिकॉज़ बिफोर यू इवन ब्लिंक इट्स गॉन. सो इवन पॉल स्कोल्स यूज्ड टू डू दैट, हैरी मैग्वायर डज इट. भाई वो यूनाइटेड का बेस्ट पेनल्टी टेकर है, इंग्लैंड का बेस्ट पेनल्टी टेकर है. सो अजय क्या बोलता है?
100%, man. I mean, just go that. I mean, keep it simple. And after having seen Roma with 3 penalties in a row, I mean, consecutive 3 penalties in a same piece of action, I'm like, bhai, just go back.
Did Retegis do the same thing against Arsenal also last season, right?
He did.
Same.
Same.
So had they won it, they would have finished top 8, I think.
Yeah. And it's a trend. Like again, Jorginho का भी वही history रहा है with that technique. He misses quite often. But just moving on from this, broadcaster नहीं है यार. I mean, we are tired of following up. We will keep following up, but right now there is no news. Illegal streams is the only way, and you know where to come for that. You can join our WhatsApp community, or you can DM us. We'll share the relevant image. Since if we post links, problem हो जाता है, तो we'll share the image or whatever. You can join the WhatsApp community. और अजय भाई उसी के बारे में एक कल he was on another show where he was ranting about this, so definitely do check it out. I will show it. I don't think we compare.
I forgot to check Stake News में अभी है कि नहीं. अभी weekend आएगा तो देखूंगा Stake News में आता है.
But again, betting apps, not many people you
but
know.
legal तो है ना भाई.
Legal तो है, but वो betting डाल देते हैं.
18 साल के ऊपर होना चाहिए.
हाँ 18 साल के वही अगर आप 18 के नीचे हो तो प्लीज वी डोंट एनकरेज ऑल दिस. नहीं,
18 साल के नीचे उन्होंने कभी इटली को वर्ल्ड कप खेलते हुए देखा भी नहीं है. आई मीन दैट्स it just blows my mind that we have become so old, Chintan.
Yeah. No, but I don't think we compared with Buffon, Nesta, and
no comparison.
There's no comparison. We are just saying
comparison नहीं था. मैं खाली बोल रहा हूँ कि at this current squad जो वर्ल्ड फुटबॉल में current players चल रहे हैं, उसके साथ neck to neck चल सकते हैं हर पोजीशन में. That was my point.
Yeah. I mean, again, I agree with Chintan bhai there. Like there is like in the relative sense of modern football only. It has nothing. It's not a comparison with the old guard. It's like we are seeing where Italy basically measures up career. Like, and it's not as bad as many people make it out to be. Like people look at certain players, okay, like say they're like okay shit and this that, which is also fair. But again, we need to remember that there is a deep-rooted issue within Italy, and even Spalletti did not have a great time with the Azzurri, and then obviously that does not bode well for the national team overall. I mean, it was quite a weird spell over these last few years. I think Scamacca. See again, the quality is there because he's, as long as he stays fit, like he's a quality player. Again, this guy can. Yeah, Chintan, this guy can. There is a reason why on Twitter, as a joke, as a light-hearted joke, in a good way, he's known as the Ibrahimovic with a neck tattoo. Because his finishing is insane. When he's serious, he's insane. There's no two ways about it. And
not to mention his father's ability to break house plants. Even that is insane. But in all seriousness, that's the thing, right? There is depth. Like Italy do have the options, but to get them all firing, now that's the question. Yeah, just for me, it is just make it to the World Cup. I've become tired of not watching Italy in a World Cup. Just kaise bhi karke, beg, borrow, steal, do whatever it takes. Just get to the World Cup.
Yeah, Shivam is here. Nice to have you, Shivam. Shivam is asking what you're drinking.
What are you drinking?
Call man.
Matcha.
Cold coffee.
Matcha.
Cold coffee. Yeah. Cold coffee.
Exotic
I have to catch a train right now. I have to head back to Bombay. So
Oh,
stream कर रहे हैं भाई हम लोग. We are very dedicated people. खाना और कॉफी साथ में कर रहा हूँ अभी, so that I can be with you guys on the stream. Because
yeah.
I'm going to play the devil's advocate here because I'm very excited. Milan का मैच I love Roma Inter. और over the years fixture बहुत मजा आता है मेरे को देखने का ये. And as a
I
neutral देखने.
I really
हाँ
wish
बोल.
ये था अपना स्ट्रीम था, because last time Roma Inter हुआ Olimpico में we had done a watch along on the channel where we Inter obviously won the match. Zalewski को मस्त गिफ्ट दे दिया था उस गेम में.
एजेंट Zalewski, please.
एजेंट Zalewski. एंड नाउ तो फनीली ना वही है कि अभी दोनों के क्लब में है ही नहीं वो, मतलब अभी तो Atalanta में है. बट this is funny. I like the username, and Carnesecchi the goat. Donnarumma is overrated. I'm sure Carnesecchi is like the future of the Italian goalkeeping situation.
100%,
I feel
100%.
he's very complete overall. Like I really like Carnesecchi. So let's see. ये नहीं यार, ये sorry, I'm sorry. Like नहीं यार, Di Lorenzo does not come. No. Sorry. I hope you're trolling, but Di Lorenzo does not come close. I'm so sorry.
Of course, it's a trolling.
Yeah. Just a few couple comments, then we can start the match day discussion, guys. Now that the San Siro demolition news has come out, don't you think Milan should have two stadiums? देख अक्षद, इस पे ना हम लोग actually मैं और चिंतन में over the weekend hopefully fingers crossed एक video record करने वाले, where obviously you might have seen a lot of creators put this San Siro situation का video out, and you must be wondering, us being the Italian channel, how we have not done it yet. We are planning basically. So this weekend hopefully we'll record it और उसमें ये सब questions हम answer कर देंगे. Simply right now to answer this, I think both me and Chintan bhai will agree that obviously हमें अपना stadium चाहिए, but उसका भी एक अलग complication होता है. Chintan bhai knows this. There are environmental pressure groups. There are 10 other things. Then there is the expense part of it, and that's why and obviously the mayor of Milan convinced both the Milanese clubs to stay at the San Siro or build near the San Siro, because initially the last plan before that was both clubs were going their own ways, right? Chintan mein aapne obviously AC Milan had already purchased the San Donato land. Inter was looking at something outside the city and were in very concrete talks. So yeah, I think we'll cover this in a video properly, Akshad, जिसमें discussion होगा. Let's I think Chintan bhai, आप अगर आपको host करना है from a perspective or a neutral perspective, so yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, boss. मेरे को दो questions है, of course. Such an interesting tie over the years. It's been such a great matchup actually. Now, but of course, outside perspective से Param, I come to you. Roma over the years, अभी नहीं, at least 2-3 साल पहले, difficult team to beat, but not in the title contention. Inter, of course, always in the title talks. This season, Param, in Roma are of course in the mix of the title talks. Of course, काफी सब club में changes हुए, including Inter Milan.
Yeah.
So this season and with Gasperini, of course, उसके पास अभी उसके players नहीं है. It's a little different Roma, a little different Gasperini team. First of all, two questions. Roma too early, but Roma title contention, short shout outs, मतलब viable है? मतलब अभी do you think it's fair? Secondly, this Roma, how do you think is going to be different than the previous Roma you faced? Because now, as of now, you and I, from outside perspective, Inter or Roma more or less same. Inter शायद थोड़ी ज़्यादा because of experience, same favorites रहती है for the title. Napoli clear favorites है. So your take on this?
See, एक तो रोमा, आपका पहला पार्ट आंसर करने के लिए yes, sorry, you have to take Roma extremely seriously. मतलब I know हर सीजन हम चिंतन में, आपको याद है जब I think Ajay bhai will also agree with me when they had signed Belotti and all. I'm not saying I was rating Belotti at the time with all good players, and De Rossi was there. Everybody immediately jumped on the Roma title race bandwagon, and I was one of the few where I've doubted it, because I didn't doubt the quality in the team, but I always know there is that one moment with AS Roma कि सब चीज कुछ हो जाता है, चीजें गलत हो जाती है, and then Roma capitulates. Now इधर एक डिफरेंट सिचुएशन है. रोमा हैव स्टार्टेड वेरी वेल एंड दैट इज की. नाउ अगेन गैस्पेरिनी के साथ भी कुछ भी हो सकता है, बट व्हाट आई लाइक हियर इज एक गैस्पेरिनी के साथ है ना, आपको एक अश्योरेंस मिलता है चिंतन भाई. लाइक यू गेट अ सर्टेन लेवल ऑफ पेडिग्री व्हिच ही इज बिल्ट नाउ आफ्टर विनिंग द यूरोपा लीग. आई नो ही हैज हिज मोमेंट्स वेयर ही विल क्रिप, ही हैज ऑलरेडी डन इट हियर एंड देयर, बट उसका कैसा है ना, ही विल मेक एनीथिंग वर्क. दैट इज की, दैट इज समथिंग रोमा हैव नॉट हैड फॉर अ लॉन्ग व्हाइल. इवन व्हेन De Rossi was coach, look, we know De Rossi is not a great coach, and like two of his biggest doubters on Calcio Churcha were me and Kostub. And Kostub had predicted De Rossi would be the first coach to get sacked as a, like in a kind of a joke, but it actually happened. So point being, एक क्वालिटी कोच आया है आफ्टर अ लॉन्ग टाइम हु इज बिल्ट समथिंग in Italian football. Roma have missed this level of quality for ages. And sure, Ajay, I will agree with this on me. Like players का issue नहीं रहा है overall. Like they have had some amazing players to watch in Tanbai. Like even if like उनके हम रोमा के बारे में कैसे बात करते हैं that flair they add to their game or they've had or they've represented in Italian football. Now it's being complemented with the coach, a coach that has got these players to believe in his identity from the get-go. Those 1-0 wins they've been having, we'll delve into it obviously, but that builds confidence. Now what has he done? He started playing Artem Dovbyk. अभी Dovbyk खेल रहा है. Dovbyk एक बेंच प्लेयर था Gasperini के अंदर. अभी Dovbyk खेल रहा है. उसने भी गोल और असिस्ट निकालना चालू कर दिया right away. So here the big key takeaway is you have to take them seriously because he's getting things done from players right away. It's not taking time and there is more better quality. See, whenever Dybala is available, there is it's an automatically 10 times better team than what it is without him. It's quite obvious over there. Then Manu Kone जैसा player है आपके पास. So yes, defensive transition. We'll get into the tactics later. They are a bit weak there, whatnot. उस पे बाद में आते हैं. But you cannot rule them out. Like I know, yes, the Europa League test has begun and everything, whatnot. But you can't rule them out at this point. And it's very close. Chintan में others like Inter again I don't want to dive into it too deep right now. But Roma just have added when others also have kind of taken away from their team थोड़ा इधर उधर. Napoli का finally बड़ा test है. Juventus look confused. Milan are looking stronger. So you have to count them in. You can't just reject Gasperini. And this is a Gasperini. चिंतन में अभी कुछ बचा नहीं. मतलब कोपा इटालिया छोड़ के यूरोपा लीग निकाल लिया. He has a point to prove. He will also want to beat Inter because he's not beaten Inter since 2022 and he hates Inter. Yeah. Everybody knows this. So when Gasperini has something to avenge, you don't take him lightly. Is my point basically. And yes, you have to count them in. And so the second part. Yeah, the second part is
I am having Maggi, by the way. I am having Maggi. It's amazing and tasty. Actually, it's amazing. So this is the place I usually have Maggi from. But we have another question, important contribution. Yeah. Ajay, this is for
donation.
You.
Thank you.
Marcus Llorente is my goat. I love Llorente myself too. I think he was a great player. Absolutely. Hello everyone. Ajay bhai, I was enjoying your international break, Valencia, Wolfsburg videos. And can you? Yeah, I think Ajay, you should. I think Deportivo La Coruña. बस वो वीडियो मुझे मत भेजना because वो वीडियो में मिलान का जिक्र होगा.
You have to include the 4-0.
Oh my god. That is such a huge narrative of that video, Chintan, that super depot and that remontada. To believe नहीं कर रहा चिंतन. I still remember watching that game live. Yeah. And I was in disbelief. Like, what the hell was happening?
Ajay, not to sound cocky because I might sound cocky like a current fan basis right now, but I was looking at what to do next. मतलब मेरे को लगा चलो ये, and I can say to that level I was very confident Milan will win the Champions League. जैसे clubs were getting knocked out, I really thought this is Milan's year again and defend कर लेगी Champions League, but this is not meant to be. But yeah, Marcus Llorente, I would like to say
that year 2004 was something else.
Yeah,
that year we discussed it, amazing. But yeah, I would like to say Marcus Ajay is a great storyteller. I think we'll all agree he's a great storyteller, and his Valencia and Wolfsburg video are amazing. But we will, of course, force this narrative to make a Deportivo La Coruña video, which I'm not going to watch for sure.
This I will do. By the way, the whole Marcus Llorente story with the glasses.
Yeah, I know.
Such a one of the most random things to happen in the international break.
No, I am with him on this because he was getting actually. अगर आप देख रहे हो तो उसको बहुत लोग criticize कर रहे थे over the kind of glasses he wears. It was so stupid. Like people just, and एक तो अगर even if it was not scientific, I'm sure he has the right to wear what he wants. उसकी मर्जी, उसका पैसा है, उसका पैसा उसको जैसे उड़ाना है वो उड़ाएगा. वो ऐसा नहीं कि कुछ क्राइम कमिट कर रहा है. वो ग्लासेस पहन रहा है, उसको जो पसंद है वो. It is so dumb. And Haaland also commented on that. By the way.
So just one point, like last point. Again, thank you for the contribution. One of my favorite players was Valeron in that Deport team. I mean, very underrated. I would say कि आजकल उसको इतना flowers मिलते नहीं. So definitely a video is on Super Deport के बारे में.
Yeah. Thanks Kabir for tuning in. Definitely keep watching. Yeah. Hopefully we'll obviously do the Roma Inter preview. So do check it out later when you can. So yeah, hopefully you liked it and we'll be getting into it soon. Real Madrid, yeah, exactly. Real Madrid, Real Madrid had a very bad record. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, correct. They had a terrible record.
That Deportivo was crazy, and that Roy Mackay, like gosh, like I sorry, वो थोड़े मेरे को sleepless nights चले गए हैं.
Exactly.
but
अभी
I would like
ऐसा ही नहीं कि हम लोग पुराने फुटबॉल के बारे में चालू करे बात करना तो बंद नहीं हुआ because you had a classic Dep or Chintan bhai, you had a Malaga team, you had so many good sides that have fallen these days, like it's crazy. La Liga में भी वो teams थे यार, it must like it was quite something to watch those Dep or sides and everything, but yeah, quite the
I'll
drop
get
off.
back to I'll get back to Roma and Inter.
Yeah.
Of course, I'll move to. I just मैं थोड़ा narratives cover कर लूँगा before I leave. Ajay, I'll come to you now. Inzaghi's Inter terrifying. उसके पहले Conte था. So actually देखने जाओगे अजय last 5-6 साल में Inter has been a terrifying team to play against, and getting a result against them is a great thing, but getting a draw मन ही मन में थोड़ा अच्छा भी लगता था कि चलो you manage the result. I know they didn't end up winning a lot of league titles in this period, but still a terrifying team. So do you think, Ajay, this is the right time to set the record straight with Kivu coming in? No doubt is an experienced team. उन्होंने बहुत changes नहीं किए हैं, बहुत players छोड़े भी नहीं हैं. So what do you say, Ajay? Do you think this is the right time to play them, to break that narrative and get some things rolling for you guys? Because this win, Ajay, will springboard you to the title challenge.
I think it's never a good time to play Inter because they are a team that are very dangerous. But having said that, I'm happy that the international break came in between because Inter were in a run of good form. So वो थोड़ा break आया उनका continuity, and you're playing a game on Saturday night with a Champions League game, European game in the midweek. So थोड़ा Inter will have one eye on that as well. So that break and this European fixtures and the congestion ahead, थोड़ा सा I would say it's a good time to play Inter if there was ever a good time to play them. Having said that, Inzaghi का departure के बाद में भी I think a lot of people are sleeping on Inter. Kivu का experience नहीं है as much as Inzaghi had, but the core of the Inter's team is still intact. And you've seen the likes of Di Marco, coming back to his very best. You've seen Hakan, Mkhitaryan, all potentials, Barella as well. Lautaro, and now they have Boni as well. They don't have Arnautovic and Korea coming in from the bench. So उन्होंने भी add किया है in that striker department in terms of depth. So a lot of people, Chintan, have given Napoli, I would say, an all clear, the easy title. I don't deny that they're favorites, but I think Inter को थोड़ा disrespect मिला, disservice मिला. I think just the way that the season ended for them last year, overall. But I still feel that there is enough quality, there is enough leadership in that team to carry this team to at least challenge for a few trophies in Europe as well as in Italy. So never a right time to play them, but if I had to pick a time, this is the best time.
One very question, मतलब थोड़ा salty question रहेगा, मतलब परम, not salty in a way, is Gasperini at Roma, Param. Last chance to manage a big club because of course he's getting older. Secondly, do you think like had he come to like an Inter or a Milan or a Juve, I think he was linked with Juve very heavily. No disrespect to Roma here, but do you think he will get more time, more project-based time at Roma compared to Juventus? So do you think it's the right step for him, and do you think this is his last hurrah at winning the league or a title? Your comments.
I'll come to the comments. Obviously, I'm seeing a donation as well. So, but let me just address what Chintan has asked. Yes, I think Roma is the last big club for him, and मैं ये with utmost respect बोल रहा हूँ. I think it's a very big job anyways, because जब आप Roma job लेते हो, there are 10 other things that come with it, just like any other job. But वो जब आप capital city में हो Italy के, it's a lot of pressure. Would he have succeeded at someone like a Juve, Milan, or Inter? I have some doubts on that because Juventus जिस तरह से, for example, run हो रही है, right, Chintan, I don't think उसको time मिलता उतना. Like it's just Juventus are also in.
Same Milan. I think Milan में भी नहीं मिलता.
Please finish your sentence. They are a bit confused. Any doubts you have? They are a bit confused right now. And with let's say Milan again, I don't know. Milan अगर मैं एक case देखो तो Milan शायद yes he would have gotten time. Inter he would have never come to Inter. So मैं वो discuss करूँगा ही नहीं. I think वो Inter और वो they are him are not a match anyways. But yeah, I think see, project wise it makes a lot of sense for him to be in Rome right now because yes उसने बोला था कि शायद मेरे को और better guarantees मिल सकती थी market में ये वो, but there is the Friedkins have a plan now. They are learning from their mistakes. They want to do a lot of things right. They want to go after the stadium. They want to modernize AS Roma. They want to hit that next level, and more importantly, जब आप वो कमिटमेंट कैसे सॉलिडिफाई करते हो जब आपके पास कोई रनियरी जैसा हो पीछे से गाइड करने के लिए. लाइक द फैक्ट दैट यू हैव the fact that you are someone you are making Ranieri and Gasperini work is something in itself, because Ranieri has openly said he does not like Gasperini, and not just as a joke. I'm sure there is some truth to it, because Gasperini is not the most likable person out there. We have all said this time and again.
Oh,
So
yes.
yeah, exactly. And so I feel this is a perfect match. But जैसे लोग बोल रहे हैं ना कि हाँ यार सीजन 1 में ही एकदम से वर्क करेगा, और जो लोग एकदम हाई एक्सपेक्टेशंस डालते हैं, मैं थोड़ा पर्सनली इस पे वाटर डाउन करूंगा. मैंने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले ही बोला कि यू कैन नॉट काउंट रोमा आउट ऑफ द टाइटल रेस, बट फॉर मी इफ यू से रोमा इज डेफिनेटली टॉप 2 कंफर्म्ड, I will personally disagree with that respectfully. With if that's your opinion, I feel you have to give the whole project a bit more time, at least 2 seasons, like to make things work.
Exactly.
Like अभी के लिए चल रहा है, but you still need to add quality there. Roma have improved, but they look at the quality Napoli have, for example. अभी अगर कॉन्टे की जगह तुम कोई और फ्लेक्सिबल कोच उधर डाल दो, I think it will work even better, with all due respect to Antonio Conte. और even with Inter, as Ajay bhai said, कि हमारे fan base में भी बहुत down play करते हैं, and even I understand where it comes from, but we have a certain level of quality. So to Roma to reach that, थोड़ा एक और सीजन मेरे लिए देना पड़ेगा आपको. You can't just say कि वो outright favorites. That's where I stand. But yeah, definitely a club to be taken seriously, as I just said. Gasperini is in the right place, and I feel Roma have hired the right coach. As I said a while ago, they needed that quality. It has been missing for a decade or so. You can't be doing you can't be stuck in that same loop, and it's good to see कि Roma finally decided to take that leap up. बहुत टाइम से मिसिंग था ये. So yeah.
Ajay, before we dwell into tactics and expected lineups,
yeah,
I would
I
like
think
to ask you
if you
one
don't
question.
mind, I'll pull it up via Gazeta, because Footmob का थोड़ा off रहता है अजय भाई. Because like you can clearly see.
No problem.
Look at that. Yeah. Why
Ajay,
should
I'll ask you one question, Ajay, over here. You could have gone for. I'm just giving a hypothetical situation. Allegri available, Gasperini available. I know you've been singing Gasperini's praises and you've been putting it out there in the universe for Gasperini. First of all, 2-part questions. First part question is, Ajay, wherever you are right now in the league standings and people are putting Roma in the title contention race, of course, it's very amazing to hear that. Are you surprised, pleasantly surprised that you're already up there so high? Second question, do you think you will take this, like if you don't end up winning this season or don't end up finishing top 4, do you mind taking that sacrifice for Gasperini so that he gets a better squad next season? Or you would have been like, Allegri de do yaar, mujhe aaj hi league title jeetna hai. So are you happy with Allegri ko snub karke Gasperini ke sath gaya? So as a project wise, from a club fan perspective, what are your views on this?
For me, it was Gasperini 1, Allegri 2. Like one of the two coaches would have been lovely for Roma. Gasperini more so because I feel that there is that fire in him to come and prove himself. Allegri is like with Milan and Juve, he's already done a lot of things. So एक था कि यार when you marry that underdog to someone who wants to prove a point, that always works. It's like proper तुम आग में घी डालते हो वो वाला कॉम्बिनेशन है. बट दिस इज अ प्लेजेंट सरप्राइज. द स्टार्ट इज अ प्लेजेंट सरप्राइज. जो रैनियरी ने एक अच्छा डिफेंसिव सॉलिडिटी जो उसे लेके आया था, Gasperini has carried that on. And like Param also mentioned, having Ranieri in between is so crucial because you have the ownership, you have Ranieri in between, and then you have the technical team, Gasperini and his coaches. और उसके बाहर you have the most volatile fan base ever in Italy, who can, सुबह को they can make you the king, sing praises about you, शाम तक they'll come and burn your house down. That's how Roma fans are. So I would say to handle everything, the Friedkins have very smartly appointed Gasperini, and I still feel like I agree to Param's take. We are not in the title shout at all. The goal would be to get back into the Champions League and then build on that squad. And eventually, I would say maybe next year, look out for challenging. If this season goes well, I think definitely there should be a title challenge coming up from Gasperini, because even as a coach, he would be wanting to prove himself and put himself in that title race and probably win a Scudetto before he retires.
Yeah, amazing. Param, can you pull up the Gazeta? Param के first of all बारे में बहुत this guy will be very happy, Ajay.
Of
I
course,
think yes.
Alag Pandey of the physics wala hai. By the way, thank you
भाई
for the donation, Ruslan
या
Malinovsky.
I
या
really loved your
मतलब
long range shots, Ruslan. Can you pull up
वही
Ajay? Can you pull up Gazeta
yeah,
lineups?
I'll pull it up here. Hold on, I have it open. Uh,
Guys, I will be leaving in the next 2 minutes.
yeah,
Before I'll give
sure,
you my predictions about this game, I
sure.
I somehow feel that Inter are scary enough to pull this off. So I'll go with a one
Hmm.
2-1 Inter win over here. And I would like to say the boss सब लोग highlight of the weekend भूल रहे हो is Papa Pioli is coming back to San Siro. So
You might just get him sacked also, I guess.
yeah,
If
or we might feel charitable that जीत लो आप रहो Serie A
uh,
में वो हो सकता है.
uh,
But yeah, guys, I think these are the guys. I hope you guys please continue because I will have to go because it's 10:13. My train is at
oh
10:55. I just got a message.
oh
So,
oh wow,
guy, I will have to bounce. I hope it's a
definitely,
great game, guys. You have a great
yeah.
weekend. Me and Pana will definitely do something about the San. Too much to talk
Sense it.
about San Siro. So, guys,
Yeah,
happy Diwali. Guys, have a great weekend.
happy
Ciao,
Diwali.
ciao, guys. I'll see you guys soon.
See you soon, Chintan bhai. See you soon. But Ajay bhai, just getting into the predicted lineup, obviously थोड़ा और इस fixture के बारे में बात करेंगे and we'll take the rest of the game week as well. But predicted lineup, obviously from the Roma end, as per Gazeta, it's a bit early, obviously, but this is what it is. You have Srilar in goal, Endika, Mancini, Celik, Kone, Cristante, Simicas, Dybala, Dovbek, Sule, and Wesley. And इंटर साइड पे ऑब्वियसली यू हैव सॉमर इन गोल बास्टोनी अचेरबी अकांजी जो स्टेपल रहा है एंड ऑब्वियसली द डमफ्रीज एंड डीमार्को एज द विंग बैक्स same midfield three of Barella, Çalhanoğlu, Mkhitaryan, and Thuram is obviously injured. He's not fit enough to. He's not fit currently to make it to the game. So Lautaro is expected to play with Boni. But yeah, your take on the Roma side of things. Like, do you agree with this, or do you think there'll be something else? Because I think Bailey is expected to be available, right? Leon Bailey is expected to be available. क्या बोलते हो?
Yeah, so Leon Bailey and Dybala are back in
Yeah.
training, and I think Dybala obviously being a big game immediately starts. Bailey ka tho, he's not yet made his debut, so I think just putting him in this game directly is going to be a bit of a challenge. I'll not be surprised कि वो आए भी नहीं Bailey because
Hmm.
Gasperini
Yeah.
would want to keep him fresh. But yes, Angelino misses out through an injury, so Simicas is playing there. Divine Range should come on, but I think that it makes sense to play Simicas. Simicas को थोड़ा defensive frailty है, पर हम तूने देखा था he made a
Yeah.
error that led to Lille's goal. So
Yeah.
Range is considered a little more adapted to the Serie A environment. So I won't be surprised if Range may start, but again that's a 50-50 between them. But otherwise, I feel that the back three is set. I feel Kone Cristante will be there in the middle. Sole obviously in a rich vein of form, and like you mentioned, I think Gasperini will go with Artem Dovbik to match that physicality of the Inter defense.
Fair. And obviously, जैसे इधर लिखा है, okay, wait, hold on, automatic refresh over here. It says that obviously, जैसे अजय भाई ने बोला कि Bailey is expected to be back, and obviously Angelino को bronchitis है, so he's not going to be available. Simicas, जैसे आपने बोला, defensively थोड़ा vulnerable है. We'll come to the tactical breakdown of how this game is expected to go. Bench पे Golini, Vasquez, Divine Range, Hermoso, Gilardi, Inaui, Sharawi, Pizzili, obviously Baldanzi as well, along with Lorenzo Pellegrini. Disqualified तो कोई नहीं है, सिर्फ एंजेलिनो इंजर्ड है वैसे. On the Inter side of things, it's quite simple. मैंने जैसे बोला, Marcus Thuram is injured. He's aiming to recover for the Napoli match, so Boni is expected to start. बाकी सब तो basis yesterday, Di Gennaro is the third choice keeper. He is injured. Darmian को भी injury हो गई during this international break, so he's going to be missing. Bench पे बाकी आपका Josep Martinez है, Bisek, De Vrij, Andy Dio, Sucic, Palacios. I mean, not not useful at all. Carlos Augusto, Zielinski, Fratesi, Enrique, and Pio Esposito. And disqualified तो again कोई नहीं है. There was early during the international break, there was news that because वो Argentina का game जो postpone हुआ था, right, that Lautaro might return late to Italy because of the long journey, and that's when Boni and Esposito may start together, but I don't think that's happening anymore. Tactically, अजय भाई कैसे लगता है? Because मैं थोड़े interesting stats throw करना चाहता हूँ इधर, right? Because literally अगर किसी ने notice नहीं किया अजय भाई, this is statistically, right? This is the best defense versus the best attack in the league right now, as of
Yeah,
today
yeah.
in the 25-26 season, before anybody confuses this or intentionally takes it out of context. This is the best defense, which is Roma, statistically again, versus the best attack, Inter, statistically again, in the league in this season. And I'll give the Inter side of things first, then I'll come to you as the Roma fan. इंटर का जो भी देयर हैज बीन अ कॉन्ट्रास्ट, मैंने जो आपको बोला था राइट अजय भाई कि वो वांटेड टू प्ले अ सर्टेन ब्रांड ऑफ फुटबॉल एंड he's not been fully he's not fully been able to implement it. पर उसने फिर भी एक बोल्ड मूव किया. देयर वाज अ मोमेंट वेयर वी वेंट बैक टू आवर ओल्ड स्टाइल इन द इनिशियल गेम्स. नाउ देयर हैज बीन अ मोमेंट वेयर we've gone back to that sort of aggressive approach, kind of mixed it up properly, मतलब the balance and the aggression. And sure, you can look back and say कि हाँ थोड़े easier games थे in between, but you play what's in front of you and you have to win those games at the end of the day. If you look at the metrics, this is a total contrast from Simone Inzaghi's Inter stylistically right now. Again, very small sample size, पर अगर आप देखो like opponent के final third में in the league we are in the top 3, winning duels or winning the ball back high up the pitch we are in the top 2, or I think we are first in the league, which was not the case in under Simone Inzaghi because उसका approach ही अलग था पूरा. I saw this stat which I'll pull up on Opta. I hope it's still there. I mean, Zuri के stats ज़्यादा होंगे इसमें अभी तो फिलहाल last 2 हफ्ते से, but let me show you this. Yeah. In the last 6 years, only Inter have scored 22 goals in the first 8 games of a season in all competitions in 25-26. Kivu, Luigi Simone, legendary Gigi Simone, if you know, obviously great coach who's no more. But Christian Kivu का वही एक approach है जो aggression उसको apply करना था वो finally actually कर रहा है अभी. And he's taking that risk. He knows उसके पास certain profiles नहीं है, but फिर भी मुझे थोड़ा वो aggressive game खेलना है because this is the Inter he wants. He's been imagining ever since he became coach. You see there is a difference now. You just don't have Bastoni. Like I know आप Bastoni के बारे में बहुत बात करते चिंतन भाई और आपकी he used to bomb forward, right? You have a Bastoni who's playing very smartly. He's not bombing forward as much, but he positions himself such a way as instructed by Kivu कि दूसरे players ज़्यादा bombing कर रहे हैं. Like because Bonni can do certain things. Yeah, exactly. Lautaro is pressing like a young player again. Like I mean, younger than what he is already. You have midfielders pushing very high up. Like everybody is now very forward thinking. They're making more forward actions or engaging in more forward actions than ever before. Basically, there is constant intention to attack the box in all aspects of the game. चाहे वो winning the ball back high up the pitch हो, चाहे वो just crosses हो, चाहे वो on the ground आपकी simple forward pass हो. There is just constant intention to go and stay on the front foot. And he's found that balance कि हाँ मेरे को पता है कभी-कभी हमें पीछे भी fall back करना चाहिए, किस तरीके से shape को hold करना चाहिए, because Inter do not have the fastest defense, so you have to retain your shape. And who has been key in this? Manuel Akanji from the backline, and I have told you I had doubts over Akanji in the past, right? Because उसकी fitness का issue है, and वो आगे जाके भी हो सकता है, you never know. But he's performed well. DiMarco जो हमने discuss किया, he's turned a new leaf. He's playing great football right now. Barella very complete. Denzel Dumfries is doing what he does. Lautaro Martinez मस्त खेल रहा है. So right now this new approach has given Inter क्या बोलते हैं, a breath of fresh air. Thuram was also very key to it. He will be a big miss in this game. Thuram was having the time of his life. If you saw that assist against Slavia Prague जो इंटर ने रील में यूज किया था, हाँ exactly that. He was enjoying his football, and unfortunately he's not going to be there for us. So Hakan, he's bounced back. Like as much as I was pissed off at him, kudos to him, he's bounced back. So what I can tell you, what you have to expect right now as a Romanista is a very forward thinking, aggressive Inter. Now granted, will this approach work against Roma, because Roma has the best defense? So this is a test for us as much as it is for you. It's the same. We are on the same boat essentially because it's the start of the season. All I will say is that you are expecting a different Inter from what you expected under Simone Inzaghi. की core principles same है, but एक tweak है इसमें कि Inter regardless of certain limitations intentionally front foot खेलेगी, even if there is a risk involved of losing the ball, not being able to beat your man. जो मैं बार-बार बोलता हूँ ना कि Inter don't have a dribbler apart from Bonni or let's say Fratesi and high quality dribbler that is. So you will expect an Inter that is now not afraid to kind of take it to their opponent, whether or not they're successful in what they do. basically. Mentality wise, where do I come with all this? Mentality wise, Kiwu is making a difference, or is trying to make a difference, basically. He does not want to hide behind anything. He does not give those basic press conferences like Simone Inzaghi did. He has a lot to learn as a coach, a lot to learn, but वो bold है basically. He's not hiding himself from anything. So that is the difference in Inter, and that is what you should expect as a Romanista. So same question for you. What should, I mean, I watch Roma, but for the people in the comments, what should we expect from Roma against the best attack, and as the best defense? What do you expect Roma to come up with against Inter?
Look, I think the best defense is a tad too soon, because up the the season has not really played out. But I just feel that under Roma, you would probably expect, with Dybala coming back in, you would expect a bit of flair, which typically goes missing when Dybala isn't there. With
Yeah,
Matias Sule, you will see someone take on his man 1v1, and he's very good. He and Wesley have been linking up in that right hand side of Roma really well with Manu Kone, and surprisingly, like हम लोग बहुत slander करते हैं, but Brian Cristante, along with Kone, with the Gasperini system, has been quite effective in kind of like recycling possession and carrying the ball forward to to transition from defense to attack. Manu Kone, तो obviously तुझे पता ही है परम, he has been so
yeah,
integral for Roma's successes, for even during the course of last season and this season as well. So
uh,
यार ये ना, if I were Gasperini, I would give the ball to Inter, because I know that if you try to take the game to Inter, it's going to backfire, because I feel that with Dumfries in that right hand side, there is a space where Inter can exploit Roma's left hand side, and Dumfries is quite good. Lautaro, very difficult to mark, because he does drop back a lot, and he's the guy.
his pressing is what I'm interested to see how you guys handle it, because the pressing,
Because
yeah,
I would say, which is why I would say that give the possession to Inter. Let's not keep the ball in the sense, not like route one, but I fear that if we try to kind of be smart and beat the press, we might get caught. Just the way that Inter have been playing this year. So बहुत सारे, I would say there are so many mini battles that need to go either way, like Roma's way or Inter's way, so that a team can come out on top. I'm very excited to see how Gasperini and Kivu will go at it, because two extreme spectrums, right? Kivu is a young
yeah,
manager,
yeah,
just coming up through the ranks, and Gasperini is old and experienced now. So two different eras of culture kind of going at it. And Gasperini का तो भाई Inter के साथ में record has not been all that great, especially over the last few years. His Atlanta teams have not really had the best of times against Inter. So
yeah,
बहुत ही मतलब एक सही बैटल है, एंड नसीब से सैटरडे नाइट मतलब अगले दिन छुट्टी है, तो even if it's late, you can at least watch this game. And Roma Inter have produced some great
yeah,
games in the past. You
yeah,
need to go to YouTube and check those games. A lot of good moments for us, a lot of bad moments also, but the good moments have been very good. Like as a Roma fan, I've enjoyed those victories over Inter. I'm sure that as an
Ajay
Inter
bhai,
fan, you would.
wait, you're breaking up. Is Ajay bhai breaking up for you guys? Comments में please बताओ, because at least for me you are breaking up. अगर if Ajay bhai is breaking up, just let me know in the comments, guys. थोड़ा आपका ये हो रहा था.
अच्छा, तो I
अभी
I am
बराबर.
I am honestly scared for Lautaro. I mean, scared about Lautaro because he does turn up in these games, and also Denzel Dumfries, because I don't trust Simicas or Divine Dench in that situation. I feel Dumfries can bulldoze his way and create problems, and just overall, like even Zeki Celik, right center back position में है. Wesley के लिए भी बड़ा game है ये, in Europe. So in my opinion, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस के जवाब मिल जाएगा. I know कि हम लोग हाइप कर रहे हैं, but I won't be surprised if it's a KG game, because I really feel that no team would want to lose points at this stage of the season, and you are coming right after an international break, right? So
Yeah,
you will not have that UA
yeah,
UA Inter wala 4-3 where it's a back and forth kind of a thing. But I still hope it's an entertaining game for neutrals. As fans, तो भाई obviously Param would want Inter to win. I would want Roma to
yeah.
win.
Yeah. Also, just to talk a bit more about this game before we move on to the rest of the Serie A action, obviously जो हमें बोल रहे हैं Atalanta Lazio preview करो, हम लोग वो भी करने ही वाले हैं, don't worry, we'll be
सब करने
preview,
वाले हैं.
exactly, don't worry. So मैं ये stats थोड़े और निकालना चाहता था रोमा और इंटर के बारे में. अगर आप देखो most goals scored in both the first and second half, it's Inter right now. ये again the attack has been flying high, sure, थोड़े relatively easier games, but you have to win these games. You have to kind of put your mark on this. And players like Bonny have been key, Esposito, Lautaro, all these guys, Thuram especially, चुन के लूंगा. He's asked me कि अपडेट ऑन थुराम. मैंने थोड़ी देर पहले बोला कि ही इज इंजर्ड, वो नापोली के अगेंस्ट एम कर रहा है वापस आने को. बट अगर मैं रोमा के भी थोड़े स्टैट्स थे मेरे पास, या ऑब्वियसली अगेन लुक वेरी राइट नाउ मोस्ट 1-0 wins and all that, that is quite evident. But there was one stat which I found, which let me pull up again. I'll find it again. But again, predicted lineup wise, we are quite sorted with this. I think Dovbik भी start करेगा. इंटर का भी परफेक्ट है मेरे हिसाब से. आई डोंट थिंक आकांजी विल गेट बेंच्ड बाय एनी मींस. टैक्टिकली आई विल कम टू द कमेंट्स गाइस, बट अगर टैक्टिकली डिस्कस करना हो, आई पर्सनली फील मोर देन मिडफील्ड हियर. देखो मिडफील्ड बैटल तो ऑटोमेटिकली हमेशा इट्स लाइक की, लाइक दैट गोज विदाउट सेइंग, बट ऑनेस्टली फॉर मी हियर it is that attack versus defense. I'm very curious to see how Roma kind of, or what plans Roma have for Bonny and Lautaro, even if it's including someone like Cristante, whatever. And on the flip side, maybe curious to देखने के लिए कि how Bonny steps up against a very tough challenge after a while. मतलब he's a talented player, but now this is a big game for him in a while, and I want to see how he can hold up against someone like kind of like a notorious player like Mancini, obviously. ऐसे kind of these veterans who have that know how to rattle you. So far Bonny ने दिखाया उसने एटलेटिको मैड्रिड के अगेंस्ट भी जो कैमियो खेला फ्रेंडली में, अच्छा खेला, but again that's a friendly. I agree with you. There is one more battle to look out, is Tsimikas versus Dumfries, and for me Dumfries has to commit with that mentality कि हाँ भाई मैं better हूँ, with all due respect to Tsimikas, और मैं वो battle जीतूंगा, because he's a very mentality oriented player. You know this. When his head is in the game, he will rip you apart. जैसे उसने नुनो टवारेस को लास्ट सीजन उड़ा दिया था पूरा, वो याद है अगर आपको, मतलब याद है आपको, when Nuno Tavares was flying high last season and we went to the Olimpico and we destroyed them 6-0. उस गेम में सबसे बड़ा डिफरेंस मेकर डम्फ्रीज था, apart from the goals, because he absolutely ran, he schooled Nuno Tavares in that game. That's the Dumfries I need to see, or has to show up basically to completely own that right side and your left side. That is, for me, that is another area. And I'm also actually, if you look at it, Ajay, from your perspective, Wesley ka jo form hai, right, plus DiMarco ka form, this is actually another very good battle, because both are in excellent form. Yeah, exactly, both are in such good form. So that is very key over here. So anything you are looking forward to tactically, because for me it's those attack versus defense and the wing backs more than anything, or any area for you.
I'm excited to see how the Roma attack also takes on the Inter defense, because you have Dobbik, who's been through that penalty shootout nightmare, looking to prove a point, and then he likewise he comes up against Acerbi, who is a veteran, and he can he can take on any forward on his day, Acerbi that is. So ye काफी interesting है. I just hope that Dybala can add that magic, that creative spark. I think a lot of key players from the bench also will make a difference, because like I said, this game comes after an international break. This is the start of a very congested 1 month before we get into another international break. So I won't be surprised if we see Pellegrini coming on from the bench, even a Leon Bailey cameo maybe, वो भी आ सकते हैं towards the end. Do not rule out Pisilli. I feel Pisilli बहुत ही अच्छे form में था. I think Gasperini will want to utilize him after his contributions to the under 21s. So I won't be surprised if Pisilli also gets a cameo eventually. But yeah, I mean, it's been a while, Param. This is the first big game for us, and Roma made it very explicitly clear, despite playing Lazio, that this is the first big game of the season for Roma. So it's a good test. It's going to be a good battle. I don't know if neutrals को मजा आएगा कि नहीं, but I'm sure यार it's going to be a great game to watch on Saturday night.
Fair. Just I'll come to the comments, but एक और tactical note पे बोलना चाहता हूँ. Kivu के system में Devray has looked better on form, and that is one thing I think maybe that should change. कि इधर से I know he's played in the actually he barely played in the international break. So मैं hope करूंगा actually Devray starts here, not Acerbi, because in this system जो भी recent हमने form पकड़ा है, the way one of the key reasons why we've looked smooth is Devray actually playing very well and making use of that versatile kind of attack oriented system. मैं उसके लिए थोड़ा Acerbi has been playing well, उधर कोई doubt नहीं है मेरा, but वो जो आप imagine करते हो, right? Acerbi is not as fluid as a defender as Devray. Like he's a great defender, he's a better defender. But you get my point, right? Like for the fluidity of the system, I would prefer Devray. And that is my only concern over here. I understand Acerbi is better at marking those reference point attackers like Dovbyk. I understand that. But still, I would prefer Devray. Let's see what Kivu feels. So that's my only thing. Again, these were the predicted lineups and everything. Let me see what the chat is saying. Chat, आप लोग predictions दे दो. मैं और अजय भाई तो देंगे predictions थोड़ी देर में. आप लोग दे दो तब तक. Let me see what people are saying. Chintan bhai went with an Inter win, right? That was his prediction. Roma 2-0 win. Sorry, Inter and Arsenal fan says Inter 2-1 win. Karneseki says Roma 2-0 win. Thank you, Ruslan Malinowski for the wishes. Sorry, where is the other prediction? Where is it? Niche hai, ruko ek minute. 2-2 draw says Phantom. Roma 3-2 says Abhijay. I think neither Roma or Inter have been tested. The Inter game was an anomaly, still very early in the. See, in general, Akshay, it is very early in the season. Like 7 game में आप कुछ ज़्यादा judge नहीं कर सकते. Like 7वां game week तो है ये. 6 game में honestly बोलना चाहिए. Right, अजय? Like I like again, even if we faced you, I agree with them. Like वो जो 4-3 था वो था. It was a crazy game. UA deserved the win. But honestly, that was also like Inter देख के बोल सकता है इतना अटैक किया हम लोग ने कि कैसे नहीं जीते हम लोग भी. Yeah, there's a lot that happens in the beginning of the season. So both clubs are there to be tested. Mkhitaryan to score and celebrate. Inter is winning this one, but he changes it to a draw. Who will start, Dovbyk or Ferguson or both? नहीं, Dovbyk start करेगा mostly.
Dovbyk starts.
Yeah, Shivam says 1-1 draw, fair enough. So these were the predictions. देखो, sorry, nice to have you, Zero Ball Knowledge. Please let us know your thoughts on the game as well. आप लोग game Serie A के बारे में comments लाते रहो, guys. Come on, we'll take those. But Ajay, I think it's fair to say overall, just to cap off this preview, कि both teams are, especially Roma, are coming on and high. You have 3 more points than us. We have also picked form. Yeah, आसान तो नहीं होगा ये अगर head to head. Let me show the head to head. Might as well on that note, because that is always key. Roma Inter का recent head to head obviously जो foot mob पे होगा. Oh boy, I need to start filtering. Hold on. Where is the here? So let me just let it load. We have Roma Inter here. We have the head to head. Obviously last जब खेले थे तब आप मुझे याद है San Siro में आके जीते थे. That you remember the Indica pull that we did not get the, but obviously we played terribly in that game as well. I remember we did not deserve to win. और उसके पहले Zalewski वाला जो error था वो भी हम जीते. So there was one we win a piece. उसके पहले 4-2 था. फिर then obviously you did not beat us. Then it was quite like there have been mixed results. एक point तो ऐसा था अजय भाई कि दोनों टीम में बहुत draws होते थे. I remember.
Draws हो रहे थे.
2-2, 0-0, 1-1, कुछ 7-8 draw तो रो में थे उसके पहले भी. 2-1-1-1. Like, there were a lot of draws in these games. So I hope, like again, like we want our teams to win, but I just hope it's an exciting game with again not like those random draws or anything. Obviously, because at the end of the day we need our teams to win. But there have been a lot of encounters, not just Serie A, Coppa Italia में भी हुआ है जब Mourinho था आपका coach, right? I remember at the San Siro. Yeah.
He used to get himself suspended so that he would avoid a trip to the San Siro. Mourinho for him.
Yeah. Also, like I remember this was the game before we played Liverpool and Bastoni was injured. इस game में मुझे ये game बहुत अच्छे से याद है Coppa Italia वाला. You still had Sergio Oliver at that time and Zaniolo. Look at how different the teams were here. Arturo Vidal.
Mkhitaryan at Roma.
Yeah, Mkhitaryan at Roma, exactly. Karsdorp tha. I remember Bastoni getting injured badly and I thought मुझे याद है he was not going to be available for the Liverpool game. But yeah, a lot भी अगर देखो 15-11 है, 11 draws भी है. Again, I saw one comment right now just saying कि don't think head to head will make a difference. I don't think the point of showing the head to head was that it makes sense. the point is to just show it as a graphic in terms of past record, not to say that it's going to make a difference in the future game, because past records have no impact on the future game. So I don't know how you drew that conclusion, but that's not our interpretation. But yeah, Samunli also has given his prediction. He says a 1-0 Roma win, Pellegrini assist and Mancini header. Gasperini cheeky wins says 0 ball knowledge, 2-1 Inter wins says चुन चुन के लूंगा. अक्षय says 1-1 और अभिजय का तो 3-2 था. Yes, रोमा ओलंपिको में है मैच. या सो अजय, आई थिंक वी कैन मूव ऑन. रोमा इंटर के बारे में बात कर ली हमने.
प्रेडिक्शन
Essentially
तो बोल
हमने
भाई, क्या प्रेडिक्शन है तेरा?
बाद में देना है क्या? मैं थोड़ा बाद में देते
नहीं,
सकते.
अभी ले ले, अभी लेके
क्या
कैप
आप
ऑफ
अब स्टार्ट करो
भाई. मेरे दो प्रेडिक्शन है, ठीक है. एक तो एज अ रोमा फैन ऑब्वियसली, एंड एक एज अ मोर serious take on things. This is just so the serious take also combines a lot of trauma, because trauma is part of Roma. These two things are absolutely, it goes together. This is a Jokeres celebration, trauma Roma. Having seen so much of trauma and with my PTSD, the analyst in me feels that Inter will get a 1-0 win, away win. ठीक है. This is the, as a fan though, I feel that this is a good time to play Inter, and we can, pull off a home win, which has been missing for a while against Inter. Maybe like a 2-1 win against, because I think Inter will score. But I feel that as a fan, I think Roma can do something and come back 2-1. But like I said, जो trauma मुझे मिला है इतने सालों का, and the analyst in me goes for a 1-0 Inter win, but the fan in me goes for a Roma win.
Fair. And just आप लोग को याद दिलाने के लिए कि गैस्परिनी हैज नॉट बीटन इंटर सिंस 2022. 3 साल हो गए उस चीज को. उसका बहुत ही बुरा रिकॉर्ड है इंटर के अगेंस्ट. 8 losses in a row now. 8.
By the way, Param, you saw that with Marco Baroni also. And Gasperini had a bad record against Baroni, and that's been a only loss this season.
Yeah. So देखते क्या होता है, क्या चाहे वो रिकॉर्ड बदले, क्या वो रिकॉर्ड बदलेगा कि नहीं, देखते हैं वीकेंड. बट मेरा प्रेडिक्शन आपके तरह भी, आई थिंक मेरे को ऐसा ना, अब थोड़ा अलग है, बट अलोंग दोस लाइंस ऑफ व्हाट यू हैव बीन, मुझे एक ऐसा फीलिंग आ रहा है इंटर माइट विन, बट आई फील realistically this ends as a draw. I have a feeling this ends as like a 1-1 draw or something, मेरे हिसाब से. I'm just getting this feeling. Maybe it's the fan inside me or what, the form, like, because even Inter is to be tested against another big team after the UA game. But I don't know, that some feeling is there where I feel the quality is there to make a difference the way we are playing. But realistically, मुझे draw लग रहा है, 1-1 draw. I don't know who scores. That I never look into. Anybody can score whatever, but I feel draw होने वाला है. So yeah, those are predictions. Tactically, I think we've pretty much, I think Ajay covered everything. We covered how the game we think will pan out. We gave the lineup. We looked at the lineups. We looked at how the teams are coming into the season, how they're coming into the matches. Both teams are in form. International break हुआ. Luckily, दोनों teams को international break में injuries नहीं हुई है. मतलब related to international matches, obviously. Fingers crossed. But yeah, I think Akshay says extremely difficult game to call. Fair enough.
Very difficult game to call.
Yeah, very difficult. Let's move on, guys. आप लोग बहुत पूछ रहे हो Atalanta, Lazio, ये सब आ रहा है. अभी इसके बारे में डिस्कस करें बाकी के गेम्स. Let me pull the fixture list up. By the way, please do like, share and subscribe to the stream, guys. मतलब obviously road to 3K, so please do show the support. बहुत कुछ आ रहा है, कंटेंट प्लान्ड है थोड़ा. ऑब्वियसली विद दिवाली कमिंग अप एंड वर्क, वी हैव ऑल बीन बिजी. अजय भाई के चैनल को भी प्लीज लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब करो. ही कीप्स ड्रॉपिंग कंटेंट. There is a video which me and Chintan bhai will record on the San Siro situation. I know बहुत creators ने किया, but me and Chintan bhai plan to do like an in-depth video instead of just a reel. And there is more content to come. There is the fanball meet next month. So Ajay bhai, you want to give the update until I pull the fixtures up? You want to give them the update of
100%. So सबसे पहले हमारे WhatsApp community को join करना. Instagram में वो link है where you can come and join the community. So जो भी आप लोग बोल रहे हैं कि where to watch the game, join the community. Everything will be revealed in the community. I don't want to give any spoilers, but yeah. Secondly, both Chintan and I have been to Rivalry Room where we tried to fly the flag of Calcio. So go and watch those episodes. I was just on a podcast called The Casuals. So they are more of a English podcast for a very different segment. But then I was there. The fun take. There was hot takes here or there. But once again, we were talking about Serie A in depth. So वो भी जाके आप देख लो. And yeah, do keep the support. And very important. Join the WhatsApp community because
WhatsApp comment. I'll
that
put
is
the
where
link
we are
towards.
very
Yeah,
that
I'll
is
put the
where
link.
we are very active. And like
Hmm.
Param said, November 16th is when there is a fan ball meet happening in Mumbai. So अगर आप लोग मुंबई में हो, अगर आप लोग तो definitely आना. हम लोग वहाँ पे रहने वाले. We can have a meet greet, chill, have a beer, and talk about Serie A, talk about whatever you want to. Like I met एक बंदे को मिला था, one of our subscribers. We were talking about life in general. So आ जाओ यार,
Hmm.
बहुत मजा आएगा.
Yeah, definitely. 16 November को fan ball meet, and I'm just about to pull up the fixture list, but there's a lot planned. See, at times I understand certain things don't happen from our end also, but you have to remember we are not full-time creators. हमारा day job रहता है. अजय भाई goes to Navi Mumbai daily to work back to and fro, which is insane. All of us are working, as you can see. DJ भाई भी, he's also not available he's not been available. योगेश भी बहुत time से नहीं आ पाया है. Yogesh, like we hope to have the whole panel, right, Ajay, on every stream.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, everybody has, like, as you saw, Chintan had a train to catch like in 20 minutes, and he had to run from the live stream. So we just appreciate the support you guys show, and please continue doing that. We'll keep bringing the content, and yeah, I'm glad Akshay you also like it. We'll continue, and fingers crossed, yeah, the broadcast situation gets solved. Like, even we are exhausted. I mean, as I pull up the fixture list, it just pisses me off because अजय भाई को और मेरे को बार बार वही कमेंट आते रहते हैं, लाइक नॉट जस्ट द बोथ ऑफ अस, चिंतन में सबको कि भाई सेरिया किधर दे के हमें देखना है. सो मेनी पीपल वांट टू वॉच द लीग, पर देखने को है मतलब इलीगली देखना पड़ता है, जो बहुत लोगों को मजा नहीं आता है करने में बेसिकली, व्हिच इज फेयर, राइट? सो या अनफॉर्चुनेट है, बट लेट्स मूव इनटू प्रेडिक्शंस. अजय भाई, लेच्चे वर्सेस सासुओलो. लेच्चे फाइनली जीता पहला गेम सीजन का. सासुओलो भी अच्छा खेल रहा है, 2 विन्स बैक टू बैक. डी फ्रांचेस्को वर्सेस फाबियो ग्रोसो. क्या लगता है, क्या आप लोग, अगेन सिंपल रूल बिफोर अजय भाई गिव्स प्रेडिक्शन, आप लोग भी कमेंट्स में प्रेडिक्ट करोगे, क्लब का नाम दोगे, स्कोर लाइन दोगे, ठीक है? सो लेट्स गो. अजय भाई क्या बोलते हो, क्या लगता है इस गेम में? अगेन लेच्चे नॉट ऑफ टू द ग्रेटेस्ट स्टार्ट एंड सासुओलो लुकिंग गुड. क्या बोलते हो?
But Lecce won their last game. Di Francesco is pulling off a rabbit from the hat. I think I'll go for a draw. 1-1 in this.
1-1. हाँ, एंड अगेन अगर आप देखो सासोलो 2 विन से सीधा ऊपर जंप अप कर दिया. अजय भाई कहाँ थे वो लोग? लाइक सासोलो समथिंग यार, दे आर समथिंग, यू कांट जस्ट बीट देम. आई थिंक सासोलो विल विन. मुझे लग रहा है सासोलो विल कंटिन्यू देयर मोमेंटम. वंस वो फाबियो ग्रोसो की टीम में जो सॉलिडिटी दिखती है ना, आई थिंक दैट इज नाउ सेटलिंग इन, एंड आई हैव टू गिव क्रेडिट टू नेमानिया मैटिच. ही इज एक्चुअली ब्रॉट इन सम सॉलिडिटी इन दैट टीम. लेट्स कंटिन्यू टू हैव अ फ्यू इंजरीज, एंड I still have doubts. जब तक Di Francesco, I think Sassuolo will win. I want to see predictions in the comments. Abhijay says Lecce 4-1, Lecce 2-1 says RS, Camarada brace. Sassuolo 1-0 says Shivam Muharemovic. Ha, again, I always like to, what a player. I always like to do this. Actually, as part of our predictions, we can include this, Ajay, if you don't mind, like very briefly. This is, just let me pull this. So I'll just put it in text format. So one player to watch out from each lineup is what I want to do as we predict quickly, right? Like just for the weekend, not just for the season. Muharemovic is definitely, जैसे शिवम ने बोला है, मतलब must अजय भाई आपने just 2 cents if you want to give, must form में. क्या बोलते हो?
100%. And I would say he can play even as a defensive midfielder. I think he can play in that midfield also. So very, very, I would say a player who possesses a lot of attributes. And Juve का वो next gen में था, Juve fumbled another talent, you can say. Early signs of it. But definitely one player to watch out for. He'll definitely move to that big club very soon.
Yeah, fair. Lecce से I will say Thiago Gabriel is a center back you have to keep an eye on. I know लोग Camarada बोलेंगे, fair shout. क्योंकि Camarada ने goals मारे Italy under 21 के लिए plus for Lecce, and he saved Di Francesco's job. But Thiago Gabriel is a breakthrough center back you have to keep your eye on. He's been playing consistently well for Lecce. Keep an eye on him. पर अजय भाई एक funny चीज देखो इधर गजेटा का translation.
Yeah.
Dog. That's supposed to be Doig. Josh Doig, by the way. This
Scottish,
is just
Scottish left back, no?
Scottish left back. This is hilarious here. I love
this. This is just Gazetta being racist, nothing else.
Josh Dog. But whatever. Pisa versus Hellas Verona. I think me and Ajay are full Pisa in this.
Pisa.
Yeah. Arena. I want to see Arena. इनके स्टेडियम का नाम है ना अरेना गारिबाल्दी है, जैसे आप इधर देख सकते हैं. Yeah, they have one of the better atmospheres in the Serie A. बहुत इलेक्ट्रिक होता है. And I want to see 10 times more of that just so that they can beat Hellas Verona. But unfortunately, मुझे लगता ही नहीं ऐसा होगा because Pisa, Ajay bhai, the lack of quality is showing. The Serie A B level is showing more than Serie A. And I feel Hellas Verona, you can see the absentees also. Calvin Stengs injured हो गया. Idrissa Toure उनका main right back is injured. I know Hellas also have absentees, but I think Hellas will win this. क्या बोलते हो?
Yeah, even I think Hellas will win this like 2-0. I feel that lack of quality from Pisa will kind of kill. Pisa, अगर यही तरीके से जाता रहा, they'll need to sack Gilardino and get someone who can help them to survive this year because they can survive, but अभी तो बहुत मुश्किल लग रहा है.
बट ऑनेस्टली वही चीज ना कि जिलार्डिनो में बुरा कुछ प्रॉब्लम है अजय भाई, जैसे हमने बोला ना, वो सस्टेनेबिलिटी की जो अप्रोच है ना, एकदम हम्बल अप्रोच है बेसिकली, राइट? उनकी it works to an extent, but there is still a very big quality gap. It's as simple as that. People are saying RS is saying 2-1 Hellas. Abhijay is saying Sardar hat-trick 3-0. He's the in-house Hellas Verona fan. Muharovic to Spurs says sure. Wow. Kone of Sassuolo says Abhijay Kone of better than Kone of Roma. Ajay, you might want to say something about that. Shivam says Hellas should recall Dylan Roca Livramento of Cape Verde. बराबर, क्योंकि अजय भाई he scored an important goal to get Cape Verde. Exactly, and he's been loaned to Portugal for a club called Casa Pia. But that's just insane. Yeah, that Hellas Verona have this player who scored a crucial goal for Cape
Hellas
Verde.
को वही है ना कि randomly they'll pick out like these talents from nowhere, and suddenly so Gift Orban, very highly rated, never fulfilled that early potential, but he is showing signs that he can explode at Hellas. So that's why
but
ये game में तो I feel that Hellas will easily beat Pisa.
Yeah. Also like Orban के भी थोड़े behind the scenes issues चल रहे हैं, मतलब attitude wise, but let's see. I don't want to see Pisa get relegated, says Mihir. Abhijay says went from Ibiza to अरे यार ये क्या गंदा जोक मारा है यार.
बहुत ही गंदा. ये ना वेंगा बॉयज से पकड़ के मारेंगे तुझे,
Yeah. Like again, just one player to keep an eye out from both teams. I would say Giovanni easily from Hellas. Ajay, I think we can agree on that. वो मस्त खेल रहा है अच्छे फॉर्म में. Yeah, and from Pisa I would say Akinson Miro. Actually Inter owns him, but very talented. He's actually one of the few standout players for Pisa week in week out. It's just that they just overall don't have the quality right now. Next game, moving on, Torino Napoli. Ajay bhai, big story surrounding this game because जब Baroni ने Lazio के साथ 3-3 draw किया, that draw saved his job. He was about to get sacked. They decided, चलो टीम ने fighting spirit दिखाया, even if they choked that 3-2 lead. Let's give him one last chance to see if he can continue as the Torino coach. But unfortunately, Baroni's last chance is at home to Napoli. क्या बोलते हो? क्या thoughts है आपके इस game के बारे में और prediction?
I think this is a tricky game for Napoli. You can't take Torino lightly at home. I know Torino को form थोड़ा has been poor. They got a win against us, which was a surprise victory. But then at home, the Atalanta could have scored many goals, and that 3-0 is a very flattering scoreline for Torino. But having said that, आपने देखा कि they also lost to Parma, who were winless before that, and then they had this exciting draw against Lazio. So it's been a yo-yo season for them. But I feel that ये जो Serie A में ये game week में एक upset अगर होने का chance है तो ये game में I feel that Torino can pull a rabbit out of the hat and kind of upset Napoli. I think I'm going to go just for the lols में Torino 2 Napoli 1 जाने वाला prediction में.
I think Napoli wins. I'll be very honest with you because my prediction about Torino was simple, that I don't think Baroni ball will click very soon. If you remember, I said that. I just didn't expect Torino to get it to the position where they will sack Baroni. But yeah, Urbano Cairo, I'm tired of that idiot. Like, I'm done with that guy. I feel bad for Torino fans. Like, I don't know what they can do as long as Cairo is the owner. But yeah, and for this reason, मेरे को लगता है अजय भाई कि उसका जो फुटबॉल है ना वो क्लिक नहीं हो रहा है, अनफॉर्चुनेटली विद द इंजरीज एंड एवरीथिंग, एंड इट टेक्स टाइम, राइट? जो है फीफा नहीं है, सिंपल एज दैट. इट्स नॉट अ वीडियो गेम. These things take time for Baroni to come to a club like Torino, make a lot of new signings work. Doesn't happen overnight, and unfortunately I think Napoli will take advantage of that. With that being said, Ajay bhai, you have a point. There are a lot of injuries for Napoli. Lobotka bhi injured hai, Vania bhi injured hai, Buongiorno, Rachmani. So it's a very thin back line. It's a very जो
It is
अपन ने
a,
देखा मिलान के अगेंस्ट मार खा गया था वो बैक लाइन, राइट?
हाँ.
So there is scope for what you've predicted more than possible. I'll come to the comments and see what people are predicting. Let me just quickly show.
I won't be surprised if Giovanni Simeone scores and celebrates against Napoli.
मजा है. Very likely, but again, one player to keep an eye on from Napoli, Ajay bhai, for you, who would it be? Very quickly.
Oh, this is a good one because we still haven't seen the best of McTominay this season. I know कि last season उसको काफी plaudits मिले, but इस साल with De Bruyne coming in, McTominay hasn't really got on to a good start, and no one's been talking about it. Like, he's been overshadowed by the other players, so I just feel that keep an eye out on him and even Rasmus Højlund, because Højlund is in a good scoring streak and strikers generally go with that streak. अगर उनका एक positive streak चल रहा है, they tend to add more goals. So I think Højlund would be the danger man for Torino.
Fair. Højlund for Napoli, of course, and for Torino, honestly, I will say keep an eye on Guidas Ginetis, the Lithuanian player. बहुत अच्छा फॉर्म में प्लेयर है, बहुत अंडररेटेड है. कॉस्टुप का एक अंडररेटेड फेवरेट बॉलर है वो. Defense, this ideally should be clicking, but it's not clicking. But keep an eye on Guidas Ginetis.
I am surprised that with Saul Coco and why is it not really working out?
Yeah, it's madness. So ज़्यादा easily stretch हो रहा है. Again, it has to be lack of coordination, Ajay, by simple. Roma Inter we predicted. I'm not coming to that. आप लोग अगर वो मिस किया predictions देना तो दे दो. Akshay Hariharan says Napoli 2-0 win. Baroni Masterclass says RS 2-1 Torino win. Abhir, nice to have you. Do catch the replay. Straightforward win for Napoli. Ruslan Malinowski says 1-1. 1-0 Torino. Giovanni Simeone header. Cyril Engons 2-0 Torino. Wow. Torino 1-1 Napoli. Maripan with Coco forms. अरे यार मैं इसके जोक्स काय को देख रहा हूँ बार-बार. Chintan bhai is also in the chat. Even if Torino does get something out, don't see Baroni surviving at Torino for long. That is a fair point, I think, Ajay bhai. That's a very good point. I mean, unfortunate. But yeah, Como Juventus, Ajay bhai, another underrated game. इसको थोड़ा इस पे बात करते हैं because somebody wanted us to talk about it. Lot of absentees on both ends. Jesus Rodriguez का stupid suspension अगर आपने देखा है उसका clip. Cesc Fabregas suspended. Dosena did his ACL. Yes, very bad, very big miss for Como. Diao out है Juventus के लिए भी. Bremer, Ajay bhai, big news. Bremer का फिर से क्या Juan Cabal also not available यार. Both teams are hit by injuries. Juventus का तो वो खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा. Como का भी injury list बढ़ गया है. But Como comes overall in better form, and this is a big game in context of things. Obviously, last season Como was not the Como of what we are seeing this season. But क्या लगता है आपको? Do you think this is going to be very close, and do you give Como any sort of chance going into this?
I think it's sensible to give them a chance because they're playing at home. But having said that, Juve ko yaar, it's very difficult to beat them any given day. So despite the injuries, the Bremer injury is going to be massive because Bremer not only is a quality defender, he's a leader in that backline, that Juve backline. And now you have Daniele Rugani playing in 2025, along with Federico Gatti, who I personally do not rate at all. And even Kalulu, in that right wing back, he's been on and off. Like he's never been consistent. So there are a lot of concerns in that UA backline. But एक है जहाँ पे इनका click हो रहा है, I feel it is that midfield along with Kenan Yildiz. Yildiz has been absolutely crazy for them this year. He is also evolving as a player. He's becoming a very important player on the pitch. Conceição has been great as well, especially in the European fixtures. And Vlahovic, well, he started scoring goals again, but जब ही उसका contract का आया situation, उसके बाद में the goals have kind of dried out. So there is that concern, Param, for Juve. Lot of draws, wins. जहाँ पे I feel कि they could have taken a win. They've been drawing those games as well. Yeah. So वो एक concern है, and this is a pattern that we saw earlier as well with Juventini fans kind of like coming up with the term Drawentus. बहुत सारे draws हो रहे थे. So not an easy place to go, Como, that is, but it'll be interesting to see how Nico Paz takes on this UA midfield and defense, and also Morata starting against UA. What a narrative that's going to be. But definitely, I would say Como missing Fabregas on a touchline as well. But enough strength in depth, Param. That is what amazes me. Like the signings that Como have made. Yeah, injuries and suspensions, they should have been decimated. But look at it. Look at their projected lineup. It is still a very decent lineup who can give
Yeah.
any team, a run for the money.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you because I wanted to put a point up on that कि कोमो का finally वो quality आ गया है थोड़ा depth में, even with the injuries. I see like someone now, Martin Baturina, who by the way I will question Cesc Fabregas' rotation a bit because I don't know, because he's ideally supposed to be a guy who kind of is more flexible with how he uses the squad, and I've seen that in the past tactically and squad rotation wise. But उसमें वो ये flexibility ना अजय भाई इस season थोड़ी दिखाई नहीं है rotation player usage wise, and I've been very shocked with that in a way. Like it's still a small sample size, but I've been a bit shocked because Martin Baturina could have played much more, like at least 2-3 games more by now. Your Kuhn could have played more. In general, like, so I still, but okay, ठीक है, finally chance मिलेगा इस game में, अलग बात है. I agree with you again. Juventus are still unbeaten, जो है for what it's worth. But जैसे अक्षय, I think he's a Juventino, he's saying that Tudor has his flaws. मैं बार बार बोलूंगा, Tudor is a decent coach, and that's it. He has his limitations, Ajay bhai. He's still not locked down. He's still unable to figure out what his attack is, and that is what is holding him back. It's as clear as that. Because you don't have a reference point whom you can lean back to ना जब कि हाँ ये अब मेरे लिए गोल मारेगा, और या फिर ये मेरे लिए गिल्डिस को छोड़ के certainty कुछ नहीं है basically. Like as we've been discussing about Vlahovic, what are his clear intentions for playing the way he is? We don't know. Chico Conceição is finally banging in some goals, but overall his end product we know can be a bit more. Jonathan David is going through a bit of a rough patch, I would say. Adaptation period more, if that's better. Adaptation period.
That miss was shocking. Yeah, that miss.
Yeah, exactly. And it's exactly. And Openda, look, personally, मैंने पहले बोला था, he was kind of regressing towards the end of his Leipzig spell, and this was going to be a risky buy. Again, he could still do well, but it's not been a great start for the guy as well. So apart from that, I also agree कि यार ये two-man midfield का combo ना अजय भाई, I don't like it honestly. Kefren Thuram और Locatelli पे ना individually बहुत burden आ जाता है. There has to be that, you get my point, there has to be that one more player over there to kind of support them. I'm not a fan of this setup personally. And then I know Ajay bhai, you are also not a fan of Rugani. Akshay says the opposite in the chat, but I kind of lean towards, I don't think Rugani has been always good. He's been serviceable. Ajax में जब गया, yeah, वो जब Ajax में गया तो उसको थोड़ा, हाँ, बोलो.
My only thing is, Param, like in 2025 when you have Bremer out, you want someone of the same caliber to step up.
I fully agree. मैं वही बोलना चाह रहा हूँ. I'm with you on this. I understand where Juventus fans come with Rugani, where they say he's not bad, but that confidence boost he got after he came back from Ajax, thoda basically, and he's an okay player at best. Like I agree with you, he should not be the fallback option. No, like Gatti, he's a very polarizing player because some Juventus fans do not like him at all. Some Juventus fans love him. Where I stand objectively, even I don't rate him that much. And ठीक है, Kelly भी अभी form में है, but honestly, this is not a Juventus level backline. I think we've all discussed this. With all due respect, this is not a Juventus level backline. And this is coming from me as an Interista and you as a Romanista. This is not what Juventus is synonymous with, right?
This honestly looks more like a Newcastle United backline than a UA backline.
Yeah, and just to cap this game off quickly, Como, keep an eye on Lucas Docunia. यार, he's so good, Ajay bhai. Like,
ये भी कॉस्ट्यूम का फेवरेट प्लेयर है ये डाकुनिया.
अरे यार, आपको पता है जब न्यूज़ था उस दिन आया था, like 2 हफ्ते पहले, कि apparently we wanted Lucas Docunia in as the Aslani replacement, but because Aslani didn't get sold, right, he got loaned because he kept rejecting a sale, so we didn't get the money to sign Docunia. और मैं जब वो पढ़ा ना, मेरा दिमाग घूम गया. मैं बोला भाई ये असलानी ने ऑलरेडी बहुत प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट किया और कम प्रॉब्लम मतलब बढ़ाते ही जा रहा है. लुकास डोकुनिया वुड हैव बीन द परफेक्ट हाकन बैकअप और रोटेशनल प्लेयर, जस्ट इमेजिन. बट पॉइंट बीइंग, ही इज अ वेरी गुड प्लेयर. Keep an again, I still think this partnership will flourish with as the season goes on. Nico Paz and Martin Baturina. Keep an eye out. Morata, again, I don't need to say much. But key again, Ajay bhai, their fullbacks are quite underrated. Voivoda bombs down very well, and Posh,
Yeah,
आपको पता, is a very reliable, solid defender.
yeah,
He might not be the
yeah,
same, but he's very reliable. So,
yeah.
but what are your predictions quickly? What are your predictions for this game?
Phew. I'm going to go for a draw again. Como 1, UA 1.
I agree with you. I think it's a draw. I think it's a draw, and UA will remain unbeaten for what it's worth. Come on, guys, give your predictions for Como UA. Bremer is not out until April, 8 to 10 weeks bola hai, but his return could be delayed until Jan for as a precaution, basically. 4 बजे का मैच है. Yes, I want to see predictions. Akshay says 3-2 UA win. Ajay bhai.
By the way,
हाँ.
guys, this is the last weekend. इसके बाद में daylight savings add होगा, so everything will be plus 1 hour.
Yeah. Shit, yaar. UA to lose 1-0 says Abhijay. Yes, Abhijay, I agree. Lucas Cunha is kind of an all-round midfielder. Ajay bhai, do you agree that Zegrova should start or at least get minutes? Because it's high time, I feel.
100%. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, as someone who's obviously we are all rivals to UA. I'm so happy that Jagrova is not starting, and because he creates that impact. And Akshay का एक और point था कि the draws against Dortmund and Villarreal were good, but considering where UA were, they were in, like, they could have won those games.
I
And
agree.
they, especially against Villarreal, I would say it was a very disappointing draw, because it's a game that UA dominated and should have won. So मेरे को वही लगता है कि वो जो एक पुराना उनका एक disease था ना, वो वापस आ गया, where they're taking easy wins, like games where they played well and they should have won, उसको उन लोग draws में convert कर रहे हैं. तो भाई ये मतलब it is very frustrating as a fan. And also, like, even he mentioned about attacking patterns. It is literally pass the ball to Gildes and inshallah we'll see where the ball goes from there.
Yeah, exactly. Kelly is actually very good. Akshay, honestly, ना मैं इस पे opinion दूंगा. I know he's in good form, but as somebody who's watched the guy in the Premier League and whatnot, and I know Ajay bhai, he had a good spell for Newcastle as well, but like, but Bournemouth में तो stagnate भी हो गया था ना पूरा एक point. Sorry, Bournemouth, correct. You're right. Then Newcastle में he stagnated. Ulta, correct. Bournemouth में he was still good. But point is, he's not a Juventus level centre back here. With all due respect, again, this is coming from me being your rival. Honestly, like, sorry, but this is not a player that should be playing for a top 3 club in the Serie A or even top 5 here. With as a backup, I can still understand. Not your starting centre back week in, week out. With all due respect to the player, Sam only says Como 2-2 UA, 96th minute and drawing when there is 4 plus 4 additional time. The team is young, they don't have that mentality. Fair. Ajay bhai, Cagliari Bologna पे जाते हैं. This is interesting actually. This is like a very because Cagliari आप जान रहे हो वो भी अच्छा खेल रही है. I mean kind of, and then Bologna ने अभी just recently form पकड़ा है फिर से. And table में भी it's a quite interesting dynamic where Cagliari are not that far off. क्या बोलते हो? I honestly think Cagliari might get something here. मैं Cagliari win बोलूंगा इधर.
Wow, I'll go for a Bologna win just because that Belotti injury also happened to Cagliari, where Belotti अच्छे form में था, and Bologna have just picked up, like they've picked up, and I think the international break came at a wrong time for them because they were just picking up some good momentum. So, but nevertheless, I think that Bologna can pull off, and it's a difficult place to go to, Sardinia, to get
very very difficult.
But I feel that they can pick up a 2-1 away win. I feel Bologna.
Fair. कैलेरी का मुझे एक पसंद आ रहा है ना, मुझे वो थोड़ा ग्रीन, टिपिकल बोल रहा हूँ मैं, क्लीशे, थोड़ा ग्रीनता दिख रहा है मुझे. लाइक they drew to Udinese, but they went there and they kind of put in a good performance. There was a very heartfelt tribute for Belotti. Obviously, उधर वो भी था, if you saw when they scored the goal. And Bologna का एक चीज मैं बोलूंगा ना अजय भाई, ये इटालियनों का भी ना एक सेकंड सीजन सिंड्रोम कैसा होता है बोलते हैं ना, वो सेकंड सीजन ना उसका हमेशा थोड़ा स्लो स्टार्ट होता है रिलेटिवली. एंड अगर आप देखो उनका होम में बेटर रिजल्ट्स आए, आपको उनका होम रिकॉर्ड पता है, दे आर अनबीटन सिंस 2024 December, राइट? But away, it's not just fully clean. But with that being said, I understand because they just thrashed Pisa and that might have done wonders for their confidence. But I don't know. I'm going for a Cagliari win. You're going for a Bologna win. Let's see what the chat says. 0-0 draw, Cagliari Bologna. अभी चाहे बेंजामिन डोमिंगेज ना बहुत टैलेंटेड है. अजय भाई, इफ यू रिमेंबर, रोमा आल्सो वर काइंड ऑफ आइंग हिम इन द विंडो. बट उसको ना अभी कॉस्टुम ने उस दिन हमें बोला कि द रिपोर्ट्स आर सेइंग दैट इटालियनो इज ट्राइंग टू गिव हिम मोर गेम टाइम, सो ही माइट स्टार्ट अगेंस्ट कैलेरी. कीप एन आई. अभी से तेरा Jesus Rodriguez वाला क्वेश्चन, वेरी गुड टैलेंट. अजय भाई addressed it on some other stream today on the other channel, and he's a very good talent, but he's suspended unfortunately for a very weird red card. Boshu Bama says hi to both of us. Nice to have you. Phantom says one. Ashwini, I didn't see that. Sorry. Phantom says 1-0 Bologna. Cagliari Bologna 1-0 Shivam. Soundly says Bologna win. Ashwin, I'll take your Kivu wala comment towards the end थोड़ा. जेनोआ पार्मा पे आए भी नहीं है भाई हम लोग. अजय भाई क्या बोलते हो जेनोआ पार्मा?
वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग गेम यार, दोनों एकदम
मार खप्पे.
I think Genoa wins this, Param. I just feel that Genoa will win this. Maybe just like a goal, solitary goal, 1-0 or something. But I just feel that at home, Genoa should win this.
यार जेनोआ का वही हुआ है ना अजय भाई की वो अटैक इतना फ्लैट, एंड इट हैपेंस इफ यू कांट स्पेंड मनी, राइट? आई टोल्ड यू दे हैव बीन साइनिंग ऑन लोन एंड फ्री ट्रांसफर. पर अपने नापोली के अगेंस्ट गेम देखा उनका, हाउ वेल दे परफॉर्म्ड.
They played really well. I think they deserve something from that game.
Yeah, they got gassed out. पर अगर आपने देखा जेफ एकाटोर जो कोलंबो को बेंच किया, वो क्या गोल था नॉर्टन कफी और उसका. Fantastic. I feel that is where if they can just build on that. Now I don't want Vieira to just randomly bench Jeff Ecuador again. You build on this. You lost to Napoli. That's Napoli. Napoli has quality. They're the champions of Italy. You keep that. You play Jeff Ecuador. You play Norton Cuffy. And you start playing again. I don't understand what he's doing, Ajay bhai. When we loaned Valentin Carboni to them, right? We put a clause that if you play him more, you'll get paid for it. You're not paying us. Inter will pay you money for it. He's certainly better than that average player like Vitinha over there. And Vieira ka same, second season syndrome. He just falls apart in the second season.
Yeah.
And he's just refusing to play the talented players he has. Valentin Carboni, Jeff Ecuador, and he just needs to avoid these silly mistakes. And on the other hand, we know Carlos Cuesta for Parma, यार वो क्या ही है मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा अब तक. I'll be very honest with you. Like I don't understand that, and you can see the result. They've only beaten Torino, and yeah, I think Genoa will win. क्या बोलते हो आप?
Yeah, 1-0 Genoa win.
1-0 Genoa, I agree. Parma 1-0 says RS. Genoa 3-1. Wow. Ruslan Malinowski. I will score a hat trick. Yeah, fair play. Genoa 0-0. Parma shot on target for both. That's also actually a much more realistic prediction than ours.
This is far more realistic.
Yeah.
Classic. Two Italian teams try to play chess instead of football, and ending up with no shots on target.
Yeah. Hugo Cuenca also not playing. Yes, again, that's a very good point, Shiv, Genoa ke liye. BJ is like, I'll clip the Vitinha average player. Out of context, because I am talking about Genoa का Vitinha, but ये PSG के Vitinha के बारे में बना देगा. Obviously. Atalanta, Lazio, इसके बारे में थोड़ा बात करते हैं because we'll be capping off very soon. But क्या बोलते हो? Because again, Lazio in trouble. Atalanta unbeaten and are doing well. Yeah, and are doing much better than they started the season. Much better. Juric with all those injuries did such a good job towards that last half before the international break. क्या बोलते हो आप?
भाई मैं ना Twitter पे जब when I was saying कि Juric will do well at Atalanta, a lot of Roma fans kind of like gave me a lot of gave a hard time because of that, because obviously वो जो Juric का spell था at Roma was not very pleasant, but I kind of had this like at least he will start well. I don't know how the season will unravel because it's a long season. Atlanta in the Champions League, but जो start Juric ने किया है with Atlanta has been very solid. Like we've discussed many times, but जो नए सुन रहे हैं यहाँ पे, Juric is far more defensive minded. Like he likes to organize the defense in a far more controlled fashion than a Gasperini. So I think Atlanta needed that defensive solidity. Had they had better players, Param, I think ये थोड़ा और better होता, in the sense that like a Derun is aging, Jim City, is really you don't know which Jim City is going to turn up. उनके injuries भी है, Kolasinac is injured, a long-term injury है उसके पास में. So जो Juric को जो player चाहिए थे, but having said that, look at the emergence of Honest Ahanor. He came in from Genoa, has slotted in that left centre back position so seamlessly. One of the brightest talents. I hope the Azuri thing, jo uska hai, he's 17, he's going to turn 18, he'll get the Italian passport. That happens soon because Italy should not fumble this talent to Nigeria by any means. So I think Atlanta ka yaar, a lot of casuals or a lot of haters kind of expected Atlanta to be blown away quickly, but Juric has kind of consolidated Atlanta's position and he's come up with the goods. I think the only disappointing game for them was that PSG loss in the Champions League, but yeah, it is what it is in Serie A. They are unbeaten and they come up against Lazio. And honestly, I don't know what to make of Lazio because every week it's a different story. One week you have Cancellieri kind of like performing for them. One week they look like absolutely a shadow of themselves from a week ago and they crumble. So बहुत ही unpredictable Lazio है इस season. Of course उनका भी issues था with the transfer ban and all. But yeah, I mean this is going to be a good game. Like even Chintan said, Juve Como hai, Fiorentina Milan hai, Roma Inter तो obviously hai, but this is going to be a great watch. I'll be obviously hate watching for Lazio, but overall I think Atlanta do have the edge in this game in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think simply before I give my thoughts, I think Atalanta is winning this. I honestly नहीं. I know Lazio के बहुत बड़े players को break था international break में rejuvenate होने का time मिला ये वो. But the mood in the camp अगर आपने न्यूज पढ़ा जाए भाई सारी और फाबियानी के बीच में डिसएग्रीमेंट, एक को इंसीनियर चाहिए एक को नहीं चाहिए. लोटेटो स्टिल सेइंग हाँ मैं ये वो कर दूंगा फिक्स कर दूंगा, प्लेयर नहीं बेचना है. There's just too much going on behind the scenes. Like again Dele Bashiro बेचारे को randomly निकाल दिया स्क्वाड से सारी to include Toma Basic. So like it's just things are just so wrong. There's so many things wrong on so many levels basically that again Rovella is not there, Castellanos is in doubt. Like I don't understand how they beat Atalanta. Honestly, for me Atalanta has to win. I see a lot of players by the Atalanta can recover हुए. I think Scamacca is back as well. Zalewski is back. Yeah, so I saw the news a while earlier on one of the Atalanta sites. So again, look, things are looking much better for Atalanta, and honestly, मैं expect कर रहा हूँ Atalanta हरा देगी Lazio को. आप लोग भी comments में बताओ क्या लग रहा है आपको. Malinowski says talk उसी के बारे में बात करें भाई. Me and Carboni and Venturino should be attacker with Ekator. Bernasconi is also doing well. Sulemana, Krstovic, Kamaldin Sulemana जब है वो भी मस्त खेल रहा है. Again playing very well. So yeah, 1-1 draw says Phantom. Again guys, I want to see your predictions for this game. Milan Fiorentina अजय भाई क्या बोलते हो? I think Milan wins this. Sorry, but
Milan
this
Milan
yeah,
wins this.
Fiorentina are in the gutter. Honestly, like
absolute gutter.
Yeah, आप लोग भी उनको हराए recently, and honestly आपका भी comeback ना बहुत effortless था. It felt like no effort was needed over there, right? Like even if Fiorentina scored, when I was watching the game ना जब मुझे ऐसा जब आपके 2 goals हुए, right? I looked back as I was watching the game, I thought to myself, भाई रोमा ने बहुत आसानी से कर लिया. And that has been the theme with Fiorentina. कोई भी खेल रहा है ना आसानी से निकाल रहा है points. ये गेम तो पूरा रॉबरी था. Pisa should have won this like 2-0, 3-0. Referee robbed them.
That was my prediction as well. Pisa winning the derby against Fiorentina.
Yeah, but they had it won.
Yeah,
कुछ भी था वो रेफरिंग. 3 गोल कैसे भी रैंडमली कैंसिल कर दिया. I mean पियोली ने पूरा क्रेडिट कार्ड खाली कर दिया होगा. But क्या लगता है आप? Yeah, I think Milan win this. As simple as that.
With Moise Kean also getting out injured.
Yeah,
that's a big miss for them. And again, signing Edin Dzeko, I love the guy, but signing him in 2025 made no sense.
Not done
altogether. But yeah, I mean, I don't see any way forward for Fiorentina. I think, like Abhijay mentioned, I think he will get the sack. Padre Pioli will get the sack if they lose, which they most likely will lose against Milan team at home. So I feel it's going to be a 3-1 Milan win in this one. Easy.
Yeah, fair. Guys, come on, I need to see prediction for Atalanta, Lazio and Milan, Fiorentina. I need to see more.
Atlanta, Lazio is, I think, a 2-0 Atlanta win, by the way, for me.
Yeah, same, like something like that. Ruslan Malinovsky says, I predicted Milan to win the Serie A and the stream I joined. People thought it was a hot take. Nobody said, यार हम लोग आधे लोग तो हम लोग इधर मिलान को ही पकड़ के रखे यार. Ashwin says, can Pioli haunt AC Milan? नहीं यार Ashwin, I honestly don't think so. He's going to get haunted by AC Milan, by the way. Shivam says 1-0 Milan, 32% possession. Keane is injured. Shivam, Keane is not available. Abhijay, does Pioli? अब मेरा उल्टा take है actually. So I checked in the news. Pioli का job danger में नहीं है. So I think he'll stick around. But yeah, it's not a good relationship. This is not working out. Clearly, it's not working out. Injured FC Pulisic, Rabiot, Salemakas, yeah, they are also injured. Correct. Yeah, that's fair. Next, last game of the weekend, Ajay bhai, of the Serie A game week at least, Cremonese versus Udinese. क्या लगता है? This is मतलब both teams are kind of in. Cremonese lost their unbeaten record recently after losing to Inter. Udinese भी थोड़ा form fluctuate हो रहा है. But still looks like a very cagey game. I don't know. Maybe I should give the advantage to Cremonese here. क्या बोलते हो आप?
मेरे को लग रहा है I feel that Udinese might pull off an upset, a 1-0 win in this, because Udinese का ना they've been missing so many chances with क्या है उसका नाम, the striker that they have, Kevin
Keenan Davis.
Kevin Davis.
Keenan Davis. Zaniolo. Oh my God, that comical clip. Keenan Davis and Zaniolo missing open goals.
But that's what I feel like. I think this game will have fewer chances than what they had in the previous game. But I just feel that even Cremonese thoda stagnate ho rahi hai under Nicola, and Udinese kind of like in these cagey games are known to pull that surprise win here or there. So I feel that maybe it's going to be a 1-0 win for Udinese.
I don't know. I'll go for a Cremonese win. मुझे लग रहा है Cremonese जीतेगा and will get back to winning ways. 1-0 Cremonese win. Shivam says Davis का overall game is pretty solid. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Definitely a decent striker. 1-0 Milan, Hartford win. 1-1 draw.
And by the way, Zaniolo had a very long interview in the international break where he was looking back and reflecting. So, 2-3 points that he mentioned about Roma very specifically. He was like, I was a youngster and everyone talking about me in the capital, and we were toxic environment. But honestly, like I don't think so. Roma fans really kind of turned on him despite the 2 ACL injuries. And उसके बाद में थोड़ा बहुत, of course, there was that whole issue with
I mean, I don't
the whole Zaniolo, Zaccagni and that girl. So थोड़ा वहाँ पे और हुआ. He also mentioned that he shouldn't have celebrated the goal when he scored for Atalanta last year. But yeah, I think the bridges have been burnt now. I don't think so. There's
I mean, Zaniolo बोलता है एक चीज है, फिर like I don't take his words seriously because he is a character at the end of the day. Let's be very honest. Like वो है, उसमें वो थोड़ा है to kind of
कसानाटा है उसके में.
हाँ, वो saint नहीं है. It's as simple as that. Like जो भी बोल रहा है उसे वो बोले. But he's not a saint and उसमें character है. It is what it is. My daily thanks to Bodo Glim for making Roma. Yeah, Caladog the best left back. But no, yeah, guys, if you guys have any few more last comments coming in, please let us know. I'll take that and then we can close this.
Join the WhatsApp community. Join the WhatsApp community.
आपका WhatsApp खुला है क्या? नहीं तो मैं 1 मिनट में खोलता हूँ फटाफट से.
I'll try to find a link.
हाँ, कैसे तो ढूंढो ना because मिल गया.
But yes, join it because that's where we are very active. हम लोग we obviously जो games broadcast नहीं हो रहा है, we kind of help you all out with that. Can't do it officially, but that's where we do our charcha over there as well. So join the community. I'll try to find a link and I'll share it.
Fair. Please do share that. I don't see any more comments coming in. Ajay, any final thoughts? Anything you want to say?
Hey, bhai. I mean, really excited to watch Roma Inter. I think it's a game that comes at a good time. Hopefully, we can watch it on Stake News app है. वो download करिए. You can watch it seamlessly. There is no issues, and legally as well. You can watch it over there. But I just wish it should have been on the big screen because these are the games that like the Juve Inter game deserved a big screen. The Milan Napoli game deserved a big screen. The Rome derby as well. तो अगर यार ये होता तो मजा आता था. But ठीक है, अब नहीं है तो नहीं है. We'll definitely watch it, and I can't wait for club football to be back.
fair. He'll retain his job यार. He'll retain his job. अभी चाहे वो इटली ऐसे पोजीशन में अफोर्ड भी नहीं कर पाएगी उसको सैक करने के लिए, and Italy will just look like a bunch of clowns if they sack him if he qualifies for the World Cup. He will stay. He'll stay. There would be no reason to sack him only ना अभी जाए, मतलब उसको टाइम तो देना ही पड़ेगा ना regardless. स्पेलेटी को जाना पड़ा इवेंचुअली बिकॉज उसके साथ प्लेयर्स वर नॉट गेटिंग अलोंग, थोड़ा टॉक्सिसिटी क्रिएट हो गया था. सो या विच ऐप अजय स्टेक न्यूज, हम ओनली वेबसाइट यूज कर, ऐप नहीं यूज किया तो भी स्टेक न्यूज रे, वो जो जर्सीज पे होता है ना आजकल ऑब्वियसली
yeah.
एग्जैक्टली
Whatever. I don't think we can even say it on YouTube these days.
एग्जैक्टली इसलिए मैंने बोला जर्सीज पे होता है इसलिए वो देख एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है बट यू ग्रो एज अ कोच ना एट द एंड ऑफ द डे. इवन आई डोंट रेट गटुसो द कोच, मैंने तेरे को बोला है यू आस्क सम ऑफ हिज फॉर्मर क्लब के फैंस लाइक ही कोच्ड क्रोएशियन क्लब हाइडुक स्प्लिट, sorry हाइडुक स्प्लिट बोला, डिनामो जाग्रेब, and Dinamo Zagreb, their fans think he's one of their top 2 worst ever coaches that has coached them ever. So I mean it's a matter of perspective. He can still grow, he still has a lot to learn, so let's see. But yeah, on that note, just to close, Roma Inter, बहुत excited हूँ as a Calcio fan before being an Interista, मतलब always an exciting game. Lord, मतलब मैं भी interest in, I'm curious to see from an Inter perspective how will Kivu manage another big game. Like ठीक है Juventus से हारा early on in the season था, you woke up, you won back to back games. How do you face as the statistically best attack, how do you face the best defense that is there in the league so far? So a lot to be explored, and I'm very curious to see how we play at the Olimpico against such an informed Roma. I hope it's a clean game, obviously no refereeing errors. I'm tired of that shit, so I hope there are no refereeing errors. And please do subscribe to Ajay Bhai's channel. Please do like, share and subscribe on this stream. We will be back with more content. This is the link Ajay was talking about.
There's a link.
So ये लिंक है, हमारा व्हाट्सएप कम्युनिटी है, इस पे क्लिक करो, ज्वाइन करो. इधर हम लोग सेरिया के बारे में बात करते हैं, दूसरे फुटबॉल के बारे में बात करते हैं, बहुत सारे लोग हैं, यू कैन चैट. बट एक थंब रूल है, मजे करो, जो करना है करो, बट प्लीज डोंट मेक इट टॉक्सिक. दैट्स द थंब रूल. अगर आपको कोई क्लब पसंद नहीं है, ये नहीं पसंद है, ट्राई टू जस्ट बी neutral in your assessment, have fun, but don't make it toxic.
Otherwise Yogesh the
Yogesh
police
will kick you out. Police. He'll simply kick you out. So we've not had to do that to anyone so far, fortunately barring one person, but apart from that, so please keep it please
योगेश से बच के रहना भाई. वो मतलब IT जीनियस है, वो आपका WhatsApp से नहीं,
भाई
डिजिटल
वो
प्रेजेंस
निकाल लेगा उसके साथ. एग्जैक्टली वो आपके 10 डिवाइस हैक भी कर देगा. वही we can't talk on YouTube, so but exactly, the clubs getting wherever they get their money from, so you get it.
Modern football
so guys,
for you.
Modern football. But guys, please do subscribe, like and share to on Calcio Churcha and Ajay Bhai's channel. जैसे मैंने बोला, अजय भाई भी कंटेंट डालेंगे अपने चैनल पे, हम भी कंटेंट डालेंगे Calcio Churcha पे. Fingers crossed, me and चिंतन भाई will be recording the San Siro video this weekend, और फिर अगले हफ्ते तक वो आ जाना चाहिए. रील्स तो आते रहेंगे. अगर आपने रील्स नहीं देखे, चिंतन भाई का मिथ बस्टिंग रील देखो, पार्ट 2, where he talks about Serie A being a competitive league. Please do watch Ajay Bhai on Rivalry Room. You know what Rivalry Room is? Game on FC. Ajay Bhai was there recently. Chintan Bhai was also there before that. Please do check it out. Casual Sports Show करके, Casual Sports Show, उस पे अजय भाई ने कल अपीयरेंस किया था. That video is also out. हम लोग लिंक कर देंगे वो, so do please check his appearance out there as well. And simple, lastly, Serie A कहाँ देखना है? Unfortunately कहीं नहीं देख सकते officially. Third party streams, illegal streams पे rely करना होगा. That's why you join this WhatsApp community or message us on Instagram, on Twitter. We'll help you with the links, whatever it is. And unfortunately third party streams पे देखना पड़ेगा. But please try to watch Italian football, guys. I know it's a pain, it's a bit of a pain, but please try to watch it if you can, because behind that pain there is some beautiful football, unfortunately, that you guys are missing out on, which is not your fault. That is the fault of the people who are in charge, not your fault. But please do try to watch. Please reach out to us for help if you need it. क्या कैसे चलाना है, क्या link. We are more than happy to help. So I hope you guys have a good weekend, guys. Thank you, Ajay bhai, for tuning in on the panel as always. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please do like, share, subscribe. We'll see you soon. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao. Good night.
Good night.